they're against DEI. They hate it, right? They always talk about, oh, there's a DEI hire. We don't like that, right? If this ain't a DEI hire, I don't know who is. CHINGY is announced as a headliner for this Republican event on September 29th. Al, what was the last CHINGY song you've ever heard? Was it Right There?
Oh, the joint with Snoop Dogg. It was right after Right There. Holiday Inn.
Okay, Holiday. Silent Assassin, you are a young person, so this applies to you because I'm sure you listen to all the stuff that's out there. Is there any CHINGY records that are out there?
I don't even know who the hell that was.
I was just about to say, do
she
you
has
know
no
who CHINGY
idea
is?
who this person is. So when you look at this lineup of people here, and this man is claimed to be a headliner at the Red, White, and Rock. If this ain't DEI, I don't know what DEI is.
Yo, Beth, that shit crazy.
On a Saturday! Welcome to the All Even Podcast. My name is Barry Grant Jr. You can catch the show on X.
Everything. X,
Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, at All Even Media, at All Even Podcast. You can listen to the show on Podbeam as well as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. I'm all over the place. Go to YouTube as well. Hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment. Tell a friend that Mr. You know that dude Barry Grant Jr., Mr. 10K. Yo, that dude's kind of funny. Subscribe. Hit the button. All right, just don't watch the video. You know, there's a lot of people out there that just watch the video. They'll watch it and don't hit the bell. They'll hit this. Just hit the bell, subscribe. It don't take that much. Tell a friend because the page is growing. There is no Claw tonight. I don't know where the hell Claw is. I don't know where the hell Jimmy is. But the Silent Assassin is here. What's up?
What's up?
How you doing?
Pretty good.
You had a good week.
Yes.
Good
week.
We're not gonna drop it yet, but we do have a segment that I'm going to expose you because she's turned into she has an addiction now. She really does. We're gonna expose it live on the show tonight. We got guests in the building. Al, the crazy Eagles fan, is back.
The guest is in the building.
Just stop.
The guest is in the building. I'm back. You know it's my season.
Is it really?
It is. NFL, baby, we back. Week 3. We in the midst of it. We know what's going on. We kind of see who's who. And I'm here to talk about what's what.
We don't know who's who yet. It's still early.
All right.
It's still early.
We know the Cowboys are still cowboying.
And we know that the Eagles still are the Eagles.
We know we got problems right now.
You see what I'm saying? That's we can go there tonight. But lots to get into. So we're going to talk about that. There's a couple of stories that we want to discuss. Obviously, there is panic going on in Carolina, and I love to see it. I love to see it because whatever I said is starting to ring true. I knew it. Thursday Night Football, we're going to discuss that as well. Aaron Rodgers lit up those lowly Pats. Baker Mayfield said something. I don't know if people are going to call it shocking or jarring or if he was just being honest. I have my own take on that. We're going to preview the Week 3 games, obviously, for Sunday and Monday. Ben Simmons, there's a Ben Simmons sighting. There's some news on Ben Simmons. I like to discuss that. Embiid gets paid. Is it the right move for the Philadelphia 76ers to make? And Woj, Adrian Wojnarowski has decided to step down from, his reporting duties with the NBA and ESPN to, go into a new venture that obviously might actually start being a trend in college sports. My irrelevant news of the week, and then the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
Now, before that, I don't want to talk about this. I don't. I think it's one of those topics. Are we shocked? No, we're not. Diddy. Okay, everybody's talking about every YouTube video, every TikTok you see out. Diddy, okay. They got him. We got him. Right? Mm-hmm. Apparently he's on watch. I can't say the word, but he's on watch.
I got something to say about that and some thoughts about
that. And at some point we knew that the Feds was gonna get him. It was trending that way from the whole Cassie situation. You know, him being in some other place. It had a vibe like, yeah, he might be ducking from something. Now they got him. So, thoughts? I'll let you go ahead and say what you got to say.
So with the whole Diddy situation right now, you're looking at like they're bringing like mafia level charges against him.
I mean, they had a RICO charge on him.
It's RICO, racketeering, running a criminal enterprise.
And now what's the new one?
I don't know. Tell me.
It's the trafficking. That's what they're getting him for.
The trafficking charge. Oh, for bringing the prostitutes.
That's what they actually seized him for. That's what they got him for.
But I mean, I got a lot of questions with it because they're sitting here, they're bringing him in like really and truthfully. The focus of this is Diddy's sex parties, whether or not the people who are in the sex parties are willing participants, and what he did to facilitate those sex parties. That's really what we're talking about, right?
Yes, but I think it has to do with obviously trafficking is a very broad category, right?
Very.
For example, this was back in the day, and you and your homies go meet up with a couple of girls, right? And they live in West Bumblefuck, right? Mm-hmm. You take them from West Bumblefuck and you take them to somewhere else. That's trafficking.
Depends on what you do. So in the age that we're in right now,
right?
We're in the we got the Instagram model age. You know, we have everything is social media and everything. So a lot of these people get their employees through those terms.
Okay.
So for instance, if I sit there and I say, hey, I meet sex worker A who lives in Ohio and I want to have an experience with her, and I fly her out to New York to come have that experience with me.
That's trafficking.
That's trafficking.
Correct.
That's trafficking. How many people are trafficking right now?
Oh, about maybe 70% of the population.
There you go. You know what I mean? Or I wouldn't say the population, but the people who
there's a lot of people that's doing it. There's a lot of people that's flying people out.
I ain't flying nobody out.
You ain't doing it, but there's a lot of people that's doing it. That's all I'm saying. But yes, continue.
But that's trafficking. And so the definition of trafficking is so broad that there's a lot of things that you can sit there and do to get yourself caught up in that.
Well, it's kind of like tax evasion, right? They can be able, they got a whole bunch of gangsters on taxes back in the day just to be able to get something to stick. And then they hit you with something else.
Because the tax evasion was, with the gangsters and everything, it was basically you're making money and you're not paying the government.
Right.
But I'm making money by illegal gambling and prostitution and all other means of things that I'm not supposed to be doing.
But it was just a way of Pandora's box. If we can get you on this, now we can be able to attach other things to you. So that's literally all it is. They found a way. They found a way to use this very broad term to have it stick to them, and now everything else is coming at him. So,
but even with the thing with Diddy right now, like you said, he's on watch. Kind of reminds me, like anybody who knows me knows I'm really against conspiracies and everything like that. I really believe in Occam's razor. The simplest explanation normally is the explanation, but when you look at it in terms of kind of like what happened to Jeffrey Epstein. They said he committed whatever, but I don't necessarily believe that because of all the circumstances around it. And to throw Diddy on that watch right now, when you really think about over the past 25 years, the celebrities who've partied with Diddy, politicians who've partied with Diddy, socialites who've partied with Diddy. They said when they raided his house, they had evidence of these freak-offs on tape. who's on those tapes? Who participated in everything that's going on?
Well, think about all the CEOs that stepped down in the last week.
Look at this. Even what's her name? Nikki was talking about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have a whole bunch of moving parts, and there are a whole lot of people who are going to be affected by this, other than Diddy.
And not to mention, since you did discuss them raiding his house, the fact that they found all those bottles of baby oil. All those bottles of baby oil. You either wrestling or you wrestling. I don't know what the hell you doing with all that baby oil, fam.
What Uncle would say, you wrestling.
Yo, facts. Like, yo, what is going on?
Yo, leave that man alone.
What type of freak is he's a freak? He is.
Everybody keep a little baby oil in the house.
No, they don't.
Everybody keep a little baby
oil.
No,
they do not.
You need to get you some Johnson & Johnson.
What do I need that for?
Look,
I don't even deal with their vaccine, much less their oil. I don't want no parts of them. Okay?
You better keep that oil on the side.
Nah, fam. I don't trust them.
You know what I mean?
I don't trust them. Okay? Give me some coconut oil. You ain't gonna have no baby oil in my house. It's not gonna happen.
What you want, son? What they call it? Holistic?
Facts. Facts. You ain't gonna give me no cancer. It's not gonna happen. All right? But yeah, listen. People have their opinions about it. We have, wild opinions from Dr. Umar to this person. Whatever it is, I'm somebody who I'm going to see what's going on. I am not going to foreshadow anything. I want to see exactly what the evidence is. I want to see what they bring. I want to see how this progresses. And then I'll have my opinion from there. I don't have an opinion. I know that from experience, knowing people who have had interactions with Diddy. Diddy's a gangster. He's always been, right? The way, so the RICO charges, that doesn't shock me because he's a gangster and he moves like that. The way he used to terrorize people, I'm not shocked by that either. So the fact that they said, nah, we're not going to give you no bail because we're scared that you may intimidate witnesses. Yeah, I believe that.
You know how much money Diddy got? You think he can't intimidate people from jail?
That's what I'm sure, but that's why all of this stuff at that point, it doesn't shock me. Everything else, I need to see how it plays out. And then I'll have an opinion.
I'll tell you a quick little story, right?
But he is a little freak, though.
I mean, everybody got a little freak.
Not Diddy freak. I don't
got Diddy freak.
Diddy, Diddy, Dwight Howard type of freak. I don't want no parts of that. I don't want no parts of that.
Don't talk about Mr. Howard.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's a part of that. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
He might be.
I don't know. We're not going to speculate. But yeah, go ahead.
But I used to work with, many moons ago, I used to work with this guy, right? And he was a guy from Suffolk County who used to do like bartending around and everything. Like he used to do like at-home bartending for like, not at-home bartending, but like mansion parties and things like that. And one thing he told me was, I get calls for Diddy parties. Remember Diddy used to throw the parties out in the Hamptons. And he looked me right in my eyes and he said, I cannot speak to you about anything that happens at those Diddy parties. Legally, I can't speak to you about anything that happens.
You probably had to sign an NDA.
I'm speculating. But what he did tell me is, he said, when you walk into the Diddy party, your phone goes in the bag. You get checked to see if you have any kind of recording devices or any kind of things like that. And then you're allowed in. And when you leave, that's when you get everything back. Those parties were crazy. Those parties were drug-fueled sex freak-offs. Like the term that he gave them was the correct term. And the fall off for everybody is what I'm waiting to see. Like Diddy's done. Like the D and Diddy is for done.
Yeah, he's done.
But what happens for everybody else after that, those dominoes, that's what
you want to see. You want to see the shrapnel. That's what you want to see. You want to see the shrapnel. I mean, listen, I'm here for it too. Moving on to I've talked Donald Trump a lot on this show because obviously it's political season. We are 40-something days away from the presidential election, and Donald Trump was in Long Island, New York, and he had a wave of people. And the dumbest thing somebody can ever tell me is that Donald Trump can never have a chance at winning New York. It'll never happen. There's a reason why he went to Uniondale, New York to have his little rally, because most Republicans live in Long Island. But we're talking about the grand scheme of the state of New York. It ain't gonna happen. I'm just gonna say that. It ain't gonna happen.
I don't know what's gonna happen because
I'm not talking about the presidential election. I'm talking about in New York. He
New York?
will never win New York.
I'll say this to you.
He will never win New York.
I'll say this to you. You have your political views. I have my political views. We all look at things in our own way, and we make our choices on who we want to lead based on that.
Correct.
We live in America, and one of the harshest facts about America is that no matter how far we've come, we have a long way to go.
Longer.
Yeah. And what you're looking at America to do is to elect the first female president.
Right.
And the first black female president.
Right.
Against somebody who is an internet troll turned president.
Right.
Turned political figure. And he's extremely popular. And everybody who really supports Trump has their reasons for supporting Trump. But even outside of that, you're saying, America, we want you to elect a black woman.
You know
as
why?
President, and to have that expectation where that's not a tall task for America is weird to me. Like, remember where we are, remember what we go through as people, remember the things that we experience personally and the things that we experience on a grand level. Like, it's not in the bag, and anybody who thinks it's in the bag is a fool.
Well, no, there's every presidential election since 2000 has been close. We don't have blowouts anymore in presidential elections. They don't exist because of how the Electoral College is designed. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that Kamala Harris has a slam dunk. I'm not saying that Donald Trump has a slam dunk. What I'm saying is that the state of New York for the Electoral College will never, ever swing Donald Trump's way because they hate him here. Like, for the state, not the city and town of Long Island or whatever it is in Uniondale. The state of New York hates Donald Trump.
You'd be surprised.
I'm telling you, I am a political junkie. I've been following politics since I was 8 years old. That's like saying that a Democrat has a chance to win Texas within the next 6 years. You believe that? No. Exactly. So I can tell you with confidence, he has no chance to win New York, but I know what he's doing. I know exactly what Donald Trump is doing. What Donald Trump is doing, what he won't tell you, is that he knows he will never win New York. He's trying to affect the down ballots in New York because he will lose the general election in New York, the Electoral College for New York. But what about the House seats? He can be able to manipulate those House seats. So if you can be able to steal some House seats in New York, then now you can be able to swing the power control in the House of Representatives. That's where the power lies. You understand what I'm saying?
I think people are giving that's a great line of thinking. I think people are giving him a little bit too much credit to think that he has that line of thinking.
Well, I think that there's always a method to his madness because he understands how to rile up his base. He doesn't want a new voter. Like, if you're somebody who's undecided, he doesn't give a shit about you. He cares about the people that support him. So the 48 or 49% of the country that support him, that's all he cares about, right? But moving on from that, but I just want to answer your question before I move on. You said that you're asking the country to be able to elect first female black president. I agree with you. Here's why I say that it can and it will probably happen at some point. We saw it 16 years ago. This movement is very similar to 16 years ago. If you go ahead and see the comparisons in regards to speeches, rallies, support, wave, the new people that are registering to vote, and the amount of people that are turning out to register to vote, it's very eerily similar to 2008. And who got elected in 2008?
You know who?
The first black president of the United States. So
Michelle
don't
husband.
make it seem like this isn't some impossible task. Women are coming out to vote in droves. Abortion is the biggest topic on the ballot right now. The fact that Roe v. Wade was overturned, women do not like that. You just had that, that girl in Georgia that passed, that lost her life because they wouldn't do a simple procedure that has nothing to do with abortion.
Yeah, because a lot of women's health issues were
Because,
affected by that
she ended
Roe
up
v. Wade.
having to lose her life over something that was so routine because of this abortion ban. This is nonsense. And women are saying we have had enough. So all the people that think that, this is a slam dunk on that side or that side, no. But what I'm saying is that there is a groundswell of support in every state that we are not seeing until election time. Once election day comes, you're going to see exactly what the hell happens. So I'm curious to see that.
But you got to also, you and I, one thing I know about the two of us is that we both have strong, intelligent women, and as a different caveat, strong, intelligent black women around us, right? But women, period. And you can't discount some of the things that they're telling you in regards to the struggles that they have out here in daily society. Those are real. And those types of mindsets that they speak against are very prevalent. Like, I don't think it's easy. Like, it's almost daunting to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna take work. It's gonna take work if Harris wants to win.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's nothing is a slam dunk. People gotta go out there and vote. Like that's all it is. Don't think that just because she's pulling these huge rallies in these big arenas, you still gotta go out and vote. Like, voting is very important. So we're gonna see what happens in the election. But I don't care about that right now. What I care about is the guy in North Carolina that Donald Trump is supporting. Man, oh man, there's something that I love to do, and I love to watch people implode on themselves. I do. I like to see what ends up happening when somebody who the Republicans deem as the next big star in their midst, they always seem to pick the black guy that we don't want. They always seem to pick the grifter or the guy that literally feels like he hates himself. Right? The way he talks about black people, right?
Like Herschel last year.
Herschel Walker, exactly. They say, hey, we had Herschel Walker. He's a black guy. He can be able to go ahead and speak for the black community. No, he don't. Herschel Walker don't speak for me. Well, this dude said, hold my beer. Mark Robinson, the lieutenant governor for North Carolina, is running for governor of North Carolina. He's the Republican and going against the incumbent Democratic governor, correct? Well, this is a guy that runs on trans are bad, gays are bad. He said something about slavery. He said something about black people. He's into everybody's lives and has an opinion about everything, right? He's one of those radical, I'm gonna say what I want to say. He's just nonsense, right? Well,
he's nutty.
You would think that this guy would live on the straight and narrow because he believes in Jesus and all this other stuff and God, and this and that. Oh, no, wait a second. There's some evidence out there to say that this guy was on some porn message boards back in the day because they have an email that they can be able to cross-reference to his real email. There's this username that he used. It was Mini Soldier. Mini Soldier is what he used, and he used it on every single platform, right? The ones that he could confirm and the ones that he don't want to confirm. Well, we confirmed it, right? Well, on the porn sites, this man would go on in the messages, oh, trans are hot. I love trans. Right? Oh, I would fantasize about the 14-year-old when I was 14, I would fantasize about peeking into the girls' locker room or whatever it was. He's a perv, right? Straight up perv. So this is the same guy that's telling you how to live your life, how you don't like the trans, but he's over here fantasizing about trans. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this little clip here because I love to hear people speak about people in such a positive light that we have to highlight it. So
Suckers, they can lift it. What the hell? I watch all these guys, Mark, working out. They're working out. They can never top a forklift, right? I'd rather drive a forklift than lift this way. But he drove it, and he drove it well. But I guess he was complaining about taxes and or something. And he ran. Look at him, he's laughing. He ran. And he's been an unbelievable Lieutenant Governor, Mark Robinson.
It gets better. Comes out of tough ball.
I heard him, and by the way, his wife is much more lovely than he is. I can tell you that, and she's my friend. Thank you, darling, for being here. But you know, I heard him coming in on the plane. I was listening, and I said to the people on the plane, "Watch this. This is Martin Luther King on steroids." Okay, now, I told that to Mark. I said, "I think you're better than Martin Luther King. I think you are Martin Luther King times 2. And he looked at me, and I wasn't sure, was he angry because that's a terrible thing to say, or was he complimented? I have never figured it out. But I'm telling you, he's more than, right? When I said that to you, you looked like, I don't know if I like that comment. You should.
So I played that because Donald Trump, who is the nominee, is endorsing a man that he says is Martin Luther King, the next Martin Luther King. He's a great speaker. Don Jr. Oh, we love this guy. We love this guy, Mark Robinson, right? They love him, right? He's even criticized, oh, Martin Luther King was a slave. All this stuff. This guy has said bad things about Martin Luther King, but loves to use the moniker when it's appropriate. Well, I do agree that if you want to use the moniker, go ahead and use it. Donald Trump, go ahead and use it, that he is your Martin Luther King surrogate. I have my own phrasing for him. If you want to say he's Martin Luther King, I'm not going to disagree with you. I have my own way of saying it.
I'm waiting.
He's the gay MLK. Doesn't that make sense? The gay MLK. The trans lover. See, the guy that says he doesn't love trans, he doesn't love gays, he's the gay MLK. I get it. So he should run on that. And then on top of that, he came out and said, oh, all the left-wing media and the media is trying to lie on us. We're not lying. We're literally cross-reference your stuff. They did the research. They know it's you. And you still want to run. You still want to run in the race. You don't want to drop out. Please run. Because if you allow the state of North Carolina to slip to Kamala Harris, I'm telling you right now, Al, the crazy Eagles fan, my good friend, I'm telling you now, Silent Assassin, and I'm looking into the camera, the race will be over by 10 o'clock. If Kamala Harris wins North Carolina, the election will be over by 10 p.m. So please continue to run. Gay MLK! Yeah! Yeah!
I've been really busy this past year. So I really just found out about him like 10 hours ago.
That's all right. Keep it. After the break, we're going to go ahead and discuss a little further.
Yo, it's your man DJ G Money from that Flip the Script podcast. You see it? We in the studio right now. Flip, shut up. Yeah. Oh, listen. Shout out to the All Even podcast. My man Barry Grant Jr. What's up, man? What happened? What you want to say to the people?
Shout out somebody else's podcast?
Yeah, my nigga the joint. What's up?
All Even.
All Even podcast.
Yo, it ain't even up here, boy. We put this what's up, man? All Even. Yo, you. Oh my God. What's up with you, man? Now that's a shout out. You keeping this?
Yeah, keep all that. You want to jump
All
on
Even podcast, right?
Yeah, All
Shout
Even.
out to All Even podcast, right? All Even. That's your man.
My man.
All right, shout out to All Even podcast.
100%. He cool. Is he cool? Let me see. Is he cool?
Yeah. What is it, G?
Oh.
What's that about, G? Oh.
He cool, man.
Welcome back, y'all. Thursday Night Football. So the Jets go against the New England Patriots. We have an AFC East matchup. Jets beat the hell out of the Patriots. Of course it happened. Not shocked. Not surprised. a lot of people thought this game would be closer just because of how the Patriots have looked the first two games. Hey, they looked impressive against the Bengals because they had a great defensive plan. They ran the ball well. Ramondre Stevenson was all over the place. Who did they play in week 2? I can't remember who they played, but they played a very, very hard-fought game in week 2. You know what I mean? Week 3, everybody's like, okay, they're very confident that they can be able to go into MetLife Stadium and actually give the Jets a run for their money. Oh, no. 24-3 dominant, right? Jets defense was all over the place. Aaron Rodgers was the story of the game, however, though. The man was on fire. If you look at his stats, he was literally on fire. 27 for 35, 281, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 81.8 QB rating, and 118.9 quarterback or QBR, and then 119 rating for quarterback. So, listen, the classic Aaron. He flushed out of the pocket. He was mobile. Obviously nobody throws a better pass than Aaron Rodgers. You had Breece Hall was effective. You had Brandon Allen was effective too. They have a nice 1-2 punch on that team in regards to their rushing attack. You had Tyler Conklin that had obviously the game of the night. 5 catches, 93 yards. Alan Lazard got into the end zone. Garrett Wilson got into the end zone, 5 catches, 33 yards. But the defense, they were able to shut down the Patriots. It wasn't hard to do. Jacoby Brissett had a hard night. Ramondre Stevenson was not effective. They could not do much. We actually saw Drake May get into the game. He threw a couple of passes. So, we saw a myriad of things. Are the Jets a good team? Yeah, I think they're a good team. Are they an elite AFC team? I'm not going to go that far. We need to see more. We need to see exactly how they go against the teams like the Buffalo Bills. I need to see how they go against the upper echelon of the AFC before I can say, okay, they actually have a chance, right? But I think they have a chance to win the East. I do. But the Patriots, they are a weird team for me. They got a great defense. I think they have a lot of guys that you can be able to say, okay, they might be one of those teams that may be a fringe top 10 defensive team all year, right? They play really hard defensively. They have a defensive, identity, but their offense is just inept. They just have no one. I don't even know if Drake May is ready to step in. I think they should take as much time with him to develop as they possibly can. Let Jacoby Brissett get in there, take the hits, take the bumps. He's a veteran. He understands the offense. He knows what to do as a veteran guy. He's a guy that's not going to hurt you. Is he going to win you a bunch of games? Maybe not, but he's not going to hurt you, right? So I think that they're good there. But it's just a tale of two teams. I just like the fact that Aaron Rodgers was healthy. He was able to finish. Now he's completed 3 games. He's looked pretty decent in these games. He had a really vintage game this game, week 3. So I love the fact that Aaron Rodgers is back. I love the fact that the Jets have offense. They have pieces on offense that look like they can be consistent throughout the entire season. So I'm a little impressed. I am. Thoughts?
As far as the Jets, I think, are a little bit better than a good team. I've been looking at them for the past couple of years. The only thing that they've been missing is competent quarterback play.
Right.
They have.
You can say that over the last decade plus, 20 years.
No. I don't think that they've had the collection of offensive talent that they have right now. Their line, their defense across the past 20 years. You could say that. You know what I mean? You probably all the way back to the beginning of Rex, maybe a little bit further than that.
The 2 Rex Ryan years were great.
But defense has never been the issue with the Jets. Offense has always been the issue with the Jets. Being able to have a consistent and steady offensive game plan. Mm-hmm. And I think back when Rex was running them, it was a don't fuck it up offense. The defense is going to do what we're going to do. Don't fuck it up, and we'll be able to win these games. And I think, surprisingly, right now, that's where the Patriots are. I think if the Patriots offense can get on the field and just not make mistakes, and do the very bare minimum, their defense can bail them out of a lot of games. But I don't think that's good enough to I don't think where they are right now, like this isn't the AFC East of the old. You have Josh Allen. You have if Tua gets back to the Dolphins, you have the Dolphins right now, and then you have the Jets. And the Jets finally have a competent quarterback. If you get 75% of average Aaron Rodgers, the Jets are a no question playoff team. The only thing that makes me sit there and say that they're not going to win the East is the Bills. That's it. So now, as these games go on, Aaron Rodgers knocks off this rust. You're going to start to see more of that vintage Green Bay Aaron. And you're not going to have these games where Garrett Wilson has like 30, 40 yards. And like, it's not going to be consistent. Like, he's going to break out. And once he breaks out, you're gonna see the true potential of this offense, and they're gonna have to have more respect for it. And you have Breece Hall. Breece Hall is amazing.
When healthy,
he's healthy. He's been healthy for
now.
He's healthy. He's going to be healthy. I don't want to wish nothing bad on that man. You know what I mean? Go Jets. But with what they have in place right now, the only thing standing in the way of them winning their divisions is Josh Allen. That's it. And if you continue to get what you got from Aaron Rodgers this past Thursday, the Jets are going to be fun to watch. And I'm really happy for all the suffering Jets fans in New York. Like you guys have gone through a lot. You guys have dealt with a lot, and I'm happy that you guys are. I'm happy, and I'm hopeful that this is the beginning of something really positive for you.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I like I said, I think that they have a chance, but I am not ready to say I'm not gonna give them the crown just of yet. I need to see them a couple more weeks, and then I can be able to have more of an opinion about what I'm watching. But I'm impressed by Aaron Rodgers. I am. I think Nathaniel Hackett is an idiot, and I don't think that Robert Saleh is a great coach, but he may just fall into Coach of the Year because the Jets may end up being that good. So we'll see. Moving on. I'm not shocked by Bryce Young being benched.
It's a high school player.
I didn't realize it was going to take this long. I really didn't. From the first time I saw the kid play, I said, okay, he's slight build. He does have an arm, but he's mobile, but that style of play with a bad offensive line, we'll see how long that holds up. Right? Struggled. Obviously, you look at the struggles in the first year. You don't really... You kind of give kids a mulligan in the first year, especially if you start right away, right? You have to go through the ebbs and flows of the season. You got to struggle. You got to catch your rhythm, and then you want to see improvement as the season goes on, right? The last 4 or 5 games of the season, you want to see that they're actually grasping the concept of the NFL game, the speed of the game. Things are slowing down, the concepts, what the defense is giving them. You would like to see some type of progression, right? We saw that from C.J. Stroud, right?
CJ was amazing.
CJ was good from start to finish, but he actually got better as the season got on, right?
CJ had to get adjusted to what was happening in the NFL.
But that's everybody. That's what I'm saying. That's the normal progression of a good quarterback. Is that you get the speed, once you understand it, now it's time to take off. We saw that from CJ. We never saw that from Bryce.
Bryce is bad. I haven't seen a pick this bad since Josh Rosen.
Yeah, but Josh Rosen wasn't the overall number 1 pick. So you have to compare him to other number 1 picks.
I can't remember a number 1 pick this bad, period. There's not one I can think of. Quarterback? Not one I can think of.
Jamarcus Russell?
Jamarcus Russell had a drug problem. Like, Jamarcus Russell, his issue wasn't talent. His issue wasn't ability.
Oh, it actually was, though.
No, Jamarcus Russell wasn't a bad
He would throw the ball into traffic when no one's there.
He was a drug addict.
I don't care.
He was on... He did that on lean.
That's fine. But at the end of the day, your progression or your progress or whatever you did on the field, it still counts. You're a number 1 pick, you're bust. You're bad. No matter if you were under the influence, that doesn't matter to me.
He was on lean.
You sucked.
I I hope that I can sit there and one day say Bryce Young has been this bad because of some kind of drugs, because there's nothing that
The
explains.
fact
like, he's horrible,
I've never
man. He
heard
sucks.
anybody give Jamarcus Russell a pass. Did you see the man play football?
Yes, he was horrible. So on crack, not crack, but
Don't matter what he was on. We've seen a lot of people under the influence and play very well. That's not an excuse.
Shout out to Percy
He was just a bad player because he just did not have the maturity or the football awareness to be able to become a better player.
But this is what I'm talking about. I'm not giving him a pass for what he did in the league. He was horrible. He was a bust, big time bust. But what I'm saying is Jamarcus Russell, talent-wise, wasn't the issue. Everything that was wrong with Jamarcus Russell was up here.
But what's the same thing with Bryce Young?
Bryce Young has no business being out there. Like when you look at him, talent-wise, he has no business
I don't
being
agree.
out there.
I don't agree with that.
That's how I feel.
I think the kid has talent. I think that his problem is what's between his ears. The problem is that once he gets out there, he forgets what the game plan is. There was a play where he literally flushed out of the pocket. I think he called an audible. Nobody knew what the hell he called, right? And he ends up getting sacked on the blind side from behind, right? And the sideline is looking like, what are you doing? Right? What do you, like, at this point of your career, your year 2, this is the same offense, right? You should have a grasp of the offense, whether it's good or not. You shouldn't look that bad. You can be in bad teams, right? You can have a bad offensive line. You can have bad weapons. You can have all of these things. But there's a difference between looking bad and looking bad because you have bad support. There's a difference. He looks bad outside of the bad support.
Okay, all right.
That's what I'm saying. There's a difference between having bad support and being bad because of the bad support, or just being bad.
He's bad.
He's bad.
He sucks.
But what I'm saying is that there's talent there, but talent is not always going to get you to the next level or keep you there. It can get you there. He's not right at this point. I don't see him progressing to the point where he's grasping NFL concepts.
He is not an NFL quarterback.
I don't know.
He is not an NFL quarterback, period. Period. Like, you have players who are great in college, have no business being on an NFL field. He is one of them. How? I don't know who in that organization looked at him and said, this is the guy. We're talking about Will Anderson is in that draft. We're talking about C.J. Stroud. Well, C.J. Stroud was number 2, right? Who else came out that year? Anybody else in that year would have made more sense than inserting Bryce Young, and then what they paid to go up to get him makes oh my.
But see, here's my biggest problem with Bryce Young is the fact that year 1, all right, that's in the books. You know what you have to improve on. You know what you have to study on. You know what you have to possibly improve on in the offseason, right? Like work on. I think number 1 thing for me that I wish he would have worked on is bulking up, right? Bulking up to be able to take the punishment for an NFL season. He's still very frail. Like, did you not realize that, you're going to have to find a way to put on some muscle to take the bumps of an NFL season? You come back looking like the same straggly little kid that you were last season. That doesn't give an organization confidence that you actually did anything in the offseason. Like, they probably looked at him coming into camp like, I know this motherfucker did not just come back here looking like the same, wet t-shirt, 130 pounds. Like, where's the muscle training? Where's the strength training?
But then again, the organization. Like, who's your strength coach?
But they're not babysitters though, Al. They're not babysitters.
They're not babysitters, but you can sit there and look at different organizations and see who invests into the
player development.
Yeah, into the player development and how the players the players' health and everything like that, and who doesn't. You can tell. Like,
let's not get it twisted. Carolina's a bad organization. We're not saying that they are the gold standard. We are saying that there are dumpster fire, absolutely. But he doesn't make them any better. Because there's some dumpster fire organizations, i.e. the Cincinnati Bengals. That's a dumpster fire organization. They've been bad for decades, right? All it takes is one good, smart quarterback to be able to change life there, right? You can have a great player that can drag a bad organization to prominence. We've seen it.
But Cincinnati has always picked good players.
Yeah, but they're a dumpster fire organization in regards to they don't develop players and they have cheap ownership.
Yeah.
So when you have that combination, it's not rooted in success for a franchise. Carolina has not had that level of ineptitude. They've had some success in their life that they've been to 2 Super Bowls.
Not with nobody that they have. Not with anybody that's there right now.
No, I'm saying that in their history, they've been to 2 Super Bowls. So they have a recipe for success. Good quarterback, you end up having a good franchise.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The leadership and ownership that's in place right now.
Oh, it's different.
They've never had success.
Yeah,
that's not the same Carolina that had Cam Newton and Greg Olsen
and Gettleman
and all of them,
right?
And was sitting there running through the NFC.
Correct.
This is something completely
Yeah,
different.
of course.
I can't count how many coaches they've already hired and fired.
Right.
I can't count how many changes. Like David Temple that's his name, right? David Temple walks around the practice facility while looking like a slave owner, watching everybody, looking at who he's going to sit there and get rid of now. He has no patience.
Right.
And it's a combination of zero patience and zero talent when it comes to picking the people who are running your organization and leading your players, and the talent that you give those people to run and lead.
Right.
Like, it's a trash organization. If CJ went there, we'd be looking at CJ as a failure right now.
I see that. That's where I kind of disagree. I think that they wouldn't have the same success as the Texans are having right now. But I still believe that CJ would look a lot better and make that offense at least look respectful. Not saying that they would be some world beater offense, but with a good quarterback that understands quarterback awareness, he has pocket awareness, he understands what the defensive concepts are, he would make them look better to the point where people would say, those Carolina Panthers, if they can be able to find a way to draft some good players and get some free agents in there, they may have a shot because they got a good quarterback. At this point, you need to tear the whole shit down because there's nothing that's salvageable. There's nothing. Quarterback, nothing.
I think CJ would look better than what's happening right now, but I don't think we'd have positive things to say about him.
Yes, you would, because you can separate a quarterback's play from how bad the organization is what I'm saying. We've seen, listen, Derek Carr is not a bad quarterback, right?
They ran him out of
But you can literally say that the Raiders are a bad organization. Derek Carr was a better quarterback than the Raiders actually gave him credit for. There's a lot more other quarterbacks that you can literally go down the list and say that quarterback is good, the team is shit. You can separate the two.
But I think how good, but I'm a true believer in how good a quarterback looks. Has a lot of that narrative comes from the people helping the quarterback.
Absolutely.
Kubiak right now, godsend. Like a lot of people are actually surprised with everything that's going on with the Saints right now. That's Gary Kubiak's son. Do you remember what he was sitting there? Do you remember how good he had Matt Schaub looking?
Yeah.
Like, that's Gary Kubiak's son running that offense right there. They're gonna be on fire.
All I'm saying is that
season.
Even in a bad organization, Al, you can see a quarterback and say this kid has potential, right? If they can be able to get their stuff together, he has potential. I don't see that with Bryce Young. I don't see potential. And then the funny part about the whole situation is that there's some rumor that he says he would welcome a trade. I'm sure you would, because you're trying to salvage your career at this point. If you stay in Carolina with this dumpster fire organization, you're going to be out of the league. Burger King will be hiring very soon for you if you stay there. But can he go somewhere else to salvage his career? I don't know, because I don't see anything that can tell me if this kid goes to another organization, he's going to be better. I don't see that. I see it with Josh Fields. I always say, listen, I don't think Justin Fields look like a quarterback, right? But if he gets to the right organization, he does have tools that you can be able to use and mold, right?
I really like Justin.
But I don't see no tools with Bryce Young.
Bryce Young, I just spent a lot of time shitting on Bryce Young, and I'm gonna spend
You can't walk it back now.
No,
You just spent 20 minutes bashing the kid.
I'm not.
He ain't good.
No, he sucks. He sucks. But what I will say is this: the worst player in the NFL is a great football player, and he might be the worst player in the NFL right now. But there are people who are talented enough to scheme around the things that he's doing. And I think that had he gone to a different organization, and had he had a situation of where he could have sat down and learned a little bit and wasn't welcome to the NFL in the manner that he was,
right?
Maybe he's a career backup or something like that. But the savior of an organization that they built him up to be, he will never be. I think in Miami's system, he'd have looked a lot better.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean? I think in Minnesota, he'd have looked a lot better. I think anybody from the Shanahan tree, he would have looked a lot better. But what's the name of the coach for? I can't even remember from the.
I don't remember his name either.
But I do remember this. He had 0 other interviews, and 0 other teams call him in for interviews outside of Carolina, and he was hired by Carolina. And that goes to show you a lot about the person who's coaching him. And then, as far as Carolina right now, the same thing I said about Temple firing everybody. What respectable coach is going to sit there and go there? So who now? So let's say they fire the coach, get rid of the quarterback, start all over again. He's been there like 5 years, maybe, if that. Let's say they get rid of everybody and start all over once again. Who of any respectable talent who thinks that they can do anything is going to sit there and step into that organization and be given an 18-month leash to be able to sit there and try to turn nothing into something?
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough when you have an incompetent ownership and they're expecting you to be great in a very, very short period of time.
He's Bizarro. He's Bizarro Jerry Jones. Yeah. Jerry Jones at least knows a little bit about what he's talking about.
Jerry Jones can draft his ass off
like a motherfucker, except for when he was trying to get Manziel. But
you gotta relax. Okay? You gotta relax. After the break, we got some other issues to talk about. Bucs.
I like them.
Yeah,
I like them.
I do too, but I don't think I like what Baker said.
I do.
I gotta go ahead and, clap back at this one after the break.
Yo, this is Cigar Gents and Gals. I want to give a shout out to my boy Barry for All Even Podcast. Keep doing your thing, bro. Killing it.
Baker Mayfield and those Tampa Bay Bucs. Listen, they had a great season last year. Baker really stepped out and showed some maturity and really played well towards the end of the season. He was one of the hottest quarterbacks in football. I think he's found a home in Tampa. I think it's the perfect place for him because outside of Brady being there for the last 3 seasons that he was in his career, obviously, Tampa Bay hasn't really been a very sexy place. It's been a very low-key organization. Yes, they've won a Super Bowl, but when you think about them in totality, they're not a sexy destination. They just aren't, right?
Yeah, they're a 2-time Super Bowl winning league.
Yeah,
team.
2-time, right?
When did they come into the league? What was it like?
80s.
No, later than that.
No, it was 80s? Testaverde was their first. I think it was 80s.
I can't remember, but what I do know is that even as a 2-time Super Bowl winning team, they have one of the worst win-loss records of the entire league.
It's a bad team. Because you got to think about how they started. They were one of the worst expansion teams ever. You know what I mean? They barely won games. So that start of their history, they're still trying to make up for that. You know what I'm saying? So can you count that against them? Whatever. But they are a very small franchise. We can be able to put it like that. So Baker Mayfield has found a home. He's the leader of that franchise now. He's taken reins of that organization, and shouts to them, right? He came out and said something that was very, very interesting. He said, Tom Brady stressed out Bucs players in the last 3 NFL seasons. So they have a quote here. The building was a little different with Tom in there. Obviously, playing-wise, Tom is different. He had everybody dialed in, high-strung environment, so I think everybody was pretty stressed out. He also said Brady was to be himself and to bring the joy back to football. Some of the guys just weren't having as much fun with Tom Brady at the helm because when Tom Brady's around, there's a level of expectation that everybody's supposed to have. Brady comes into the building, we're coming here to win. You know what I mean? Like, we're not just here to pad stats. I'm coming here to win. I'm coming here to get to a Super Bowl. I'm coming here to win a Super Bowl. So, obviously...
And win convincingly.
Right. So, obviously, if guys haven't been exposed to that level of professionalism and expectation, it may rub a lot of guys the wrong way. And listen, maybe a lot of guys ended up getting out of there because of that situation, right? So Baker Mayfield goes ahead and says that they have very different personalities. He said, you hear some of the stories that if he didn't like a certain play call and he didn't like it throughout the week and they still call it in their game, there might be a throwaway pass on purpose or throwing it at the running back or the receiver's feet. There were a lot of mind games going on. So obviously Baker is getting some intel from players or some assistant coaches or whatever it was that Brady wasn't. But here's the thing, and this is why I respect Baker. I think he's very candid and honest. He is who he is, right? He doesn't hide that. But at the same time, that's fucking Tom Brady. If you think that Tom Brady doesn't have the cachet to be able to go into an organization and say, look, whatever the fuck y'all did for the last 10 years, y'all can erase that. Right, I'm coming in here. I want all the plays changed, right? Because remember, when they got there in the COVID year, he didn't like the play calling. Towards the middle of the season, he took over the play calling, and the rest is history, right? So there's evidence here that when Tom Brady does what Tom Brady does, success follows. So if you have a problem with that as a player, then maybe you shouldn't be there. And he wouldn't give a fuck if you left anyway because you're not a part of the program. So, yeah, it may seem like, oh, well, Tom Brady's demanding. But as an athlete, don't you want your leader to be that demanding player, especially at the quarterback position? I'm expecting you to be better than what you've ever been in your life, right? That means that your work ethic, your preparation, and how you eat, you condition, everything has to be on a high level because we expect to win. I don't see a big problem with that. I really don't.
But two things can be true at the same time. What you're saying can be 100% true, and what Baker said about the...
I'm not going to disagree with what Baker said. Yeah.
So now you have a situation where Tom Brady walks in. The leadership of the team, oh, we can't tell you what to do because you're 6-time Super Bowl winning Tom Brady. We can't control this situation anymore because you're 6-time Super Bowl winning Tom Brady.
But you know what you were getting into.
Personnel, now as players, I can't fuck up because that's Tom Brady. Tom Brady has the cachet to say, you're not the running back anymore. You're not the left guard anymore. You're not the slot receiver anymore. Oh, you're going to play outside receiver right now. Oh, I play against you in practice. I don't like how you play middle linebacker. You're going to move out to safety. Like, he has the cachet and the power to be able to make all of those changes on his whims because I'm Tom effing Brady. So now, I completely agree with what Baker said. Like, if now I'm a player, now I can be a professional, I can be good at my job, I can be great at my job. Mike Evans, one of the, like, low key, and I really think he doesn't get the respect that he's supposed to get for how good he is. I can understand how Tom Brady walking in could even make a player of his cachet sit there and make you feel that I gotta be on my P's and Q's. And being on your P's and Q's isn't necessarily the worst thing because, I mean, they won a Super Bowl and they were in the playoff the next year. Tom Brady was there 2 years, right?
2 or 3?
2, I believe.
Yeah.
But he was there 2 or 3 years, but he was there for whatever amount of time he was there. And they were successful when he was there. So, like you said, obviously, whatever it is that he's bringing to the table is going to bring you success. But, I mean, it's also stressful in the way that he does it. Tom Brady is sitting there, like, screaming at everybody. Like
That's all right.
Like we know, but you can also be extremely successful in a different type of environment.
I understand that, but guess what? Ain't nobody got 6 Super Bowl rings, so I'm gonna listen to that dude. Don't come over here with your sensitive shit. All right, you play in Tampa Bay. Don't nobody cared about it. You had Jameis Winston throwing you the football last year.
Leave
right?
Jameis Winston alone.
I come in here and I change shop. Right, whatever you did last year, change it because I don't like it. All right, I know what it takes to win Super Bowls. You listen to me, or Burger King is hiring. There's 2 options that you got. I don't want to hear about this sensitive shit. You an athlete, right? Deal with it. If I'm coming in the door, that's like Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan, LeBron James coming in the door, Steph Curry. You know when they walk through the door.
That kind of leader.
Steph Curry is that type of leader because we've heard certain situations. He's not demonstrative on the court. He's going to tell you some shit off the court, right? That's just the way he is. But there's a level of expectation that they expect. If you do not rise to the occasion, you're gonna be the first thing smoking out of here. That's what this is a sport. This is a profession. This is your job. This is not something where you're supposed to half-ass it. Oh, that's all right. You know, you drop 5 passes this week. You'll get them. No. You drop 5 passes this week. Make sure you don't drop 6. Because if you drop 6, you're gonna be the first thing smoking out of here next week.
All right, so boom. Exactly what you just said. That exact scenario, right?
Yeah.
You drop 5 passes. Remember, before Devontae was Devontae, right?
All right.
I don't remember what year it was, but Rodgers said, I see something in this kid.
Okay.
This is when Devontae was the number 3 receiver in Green Bay.
All right.
He decided that Devontae was going to get those passes that game. Devontae got something like 21 targets. He dropped something like 6 of them in that game. Aaron, as arrogant as he is, came out after that game and said, I still have belief in him. Those mistakes aren't going to sit there and turn me away from what I know he is.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
How many Super Bowls Aaron Rodgers got?
1.
How many Super Bowls Devontae Adams got?
None.
This is what I'm saying. When you have Tom Brady coming into your building, I don't disagree with Baker's point. It's not a point that I disagree with. What I'm saying is that, yeah, when you have the GOAT come into your building, everything that you ever thought about changes. Everything that you thought football was for you, it changes as soon as he stepped foot into that organization. So if you have a problem with it, go play for Carolina. Go take their money over there and don't have to worry about expectation. But if you're going to play with Tom Brady, you need to go watch tape and see what those guys went through to be able to make sure that they were on time in their routes. Their route trees were effective. They were there when the ball was there. All of those things were very, very important to Tom Brady. Timing of your routes and you being where you're supposed to be was important. That was number 1 for Tom Brady. So if you don't do your research and just expect that, oh, well, he's supposed to give me a chance because I'm his teammate. No. You're my teammate for right now. That don't mean that you're going to be here next year. So you better make sure that you get in line with what I want.
No, man, it don't mean you're going to be here next week.
Yeah. You don't get in line with what I want, you on the first thing smoking out of town. Look what happened. He looked at the receiving room and said, oh, this is what y'all got? Okay, I like Evans. I like Mike Evans. He cool. Yeah, Mike, what's up? Oh, y'all got this dude? Okay, cool. Who else we got? That's it? All right, give me a second. Let me get on the phone. Here, look, Grunt. Yeah, come out of retirement. Come play for a couple. I mean, I got a bag over here for you. All right, come through. Yo, listen, have you heard from AB? You got AB's number? All right, cool. Let me call AB as well. Don't worry about it. Yeah, AB's coming. So that's literally what Tom Brady said. Oh, that's what y'all got here? All right, hold on. I'll be back. Because he said, this is the Brady show.
Yeah.
What I say goes. If you don't like it,
Leonard Fournette got, 2.5 years of checks just off
there's a
that.
door. There's a door. Because guess what? Results follow. You want to win, you shut up, and you get on this Brady train. All right? Giselle got off, and you see what she's at now, right? You get on the Brady train. You get on the Brady train.
Petty.
Yeah, it is. That was a shot. You get on the Brady train, and success follows. So, yeah. Yes, it was different. It was a little bit more uptight in that situation because the expectation level was higher. That's all it is. So if guys feel a little bit more loose playing with Baker, great. But once you guys start to put together consistent winning seasons, guess what's going to happen? The expectation level rises. And that comfortability that you had the first 2 years of Baker's career or tenure in Tampa, it starts to get a little bit more uneasy because they're expecting you to get to a certain level. Winning comes with expectation. Losing doesn't. Simple. What are we talking about here? Tom Brady. You're going to talk about Tom. Don't even mention Tom Brady. Don't.
Romo better than Tom Brady in the booth.
Who?
Romo.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Absolutely not. And I'm a Cowboys fan saying that. I love Tom Brady in the booth.
Absolutely.
GOAT. GOAT in the booth. GOAT in the field.
All right.
All right? Love Tom Brady.
Sounds like bias to me.
It is. It is. Okay? I'm a Tom Brady guy. I used to be a Jets fan, but I supported Tom Brady. Tom Brady.
What?
I respected him. That's the thing. A lot of Jets fans, they're like, oh, I hate Tom Brady. You can't hate a man that busts your ass.
Whoa.
You can't hate that.
Whoa. Did you just say?
What?
I used to be a Jets fan.
Yeah.
That supported Tom Brady.
Correct.
Who is now a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
Don't you ever talk shit about me and my Eagles again.
Why not?
Don't you ever.
You support a dumpster fire organization that has one Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I've been there since the beginning.
That doesn't mean anything. That means that you've been in an abusive relationship for I'm supposed to feel sorry for you?
That means I have character.
Oh, you have character that you keep getting beat over the face.
First of all, we've been good. We've been good for a long time. We've been a good team for a long time.
Is this an Eagle segment? It's not.
Is it?
Moving on. Moving on. What's up, y'all? I'm now partnered with a new live sports betting app. It's called Locker. We're into the Week 3 NFL season. So this is how you can be able to get into it. Go to your app store, download Locker, put in the promo code GOFORIT for a first deposit match up to $100. You can be able to join my All Even League as well. Go to the league tab, go into the search bar, type in All Even League, be able to join using my code C619BB. Get in there, get your ass bust. There's a lot of shit talking that goes in there. It's a lot of fun. You can be able to scroll, pick your scenarios for whatever game you want. The live interaction in regards to the app is really, really fun. It's one of the best apps I've ever used in regards to sports betting. So check it out. Join me on Locker. Have a lot of fun. Win some money, and I'll see you in the All Even League. Week 3 NFL matchups. First game on the docket, sir. We have the Chargers and Steelers. Steelers are at home. They're -3 at home. Chargers may be without Justin Herbert. He's still dealing with the injury. They said that he's probable or doubtful. We'll see what happens. If the Chargers don't have Herbert, I don't see them beating the Steelers, especially at home. I got the Steelers winning this game. I think.
What's the line again?
-3. That's a normal home spread. That's the advantage.
But the thing about the Chargers is the Chargers this year, they're not based on Justin Herbert. They're based on that running game and that defense. Their defense is great.
I understand, but you still need a quarterback to be able to deliver the football.
Yeah, you still need a quarterback to be able to deliver the football. But in this game, I wouldn't. So I like the Steelers, but I wouldn't as easily pick the Steelers as you just did.
Well, I didn't say that they were going to dominate the game. I said the Steelers will win. So you can take the Steelers money line. They're going to win the game. I'm not saying they're going to win 35-6. It may be a knockout, drag-out game, but the Steelers will win the game. because they have a better defense, they have a better pass rush, they have a better running attack, and they have
They do not have a better running attack than the Chargers.
They have a better running attack.
They don't.
They do.
All right. I got the Chargers on this one.
You had the Chargers without Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
There's a tattoo on your leg.
Mm-hmm.
People
ask me about it all the time.
When you are so wrong and strong, just make sure you look at that tattoo and say, you know what, he was right.
I mean, when it's time to make bets, that's when I look at the
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
But all I'm saying is now is if we're speaking,
all right,
man, friend to friend,
you got the Chargers, I got the Steelers. Moving on, we have the Texans and Vikings. This is a very, very interesting matchup. Two good teams, two well-coached teams. The Vikings have impressed in the first 2 weeks. Sam Darnold has looked amazing. Vikings are at home, but Houston has the spread. They are -2 on the road. Man.
No Joe Mixon.
No Joe Mixon. I got the Vikings. Listen, I am on the Sam Darnold revenge tour. I am on that train because I ain't gonna lie to you. He was done wrong in New York, right? They got rid of him and got that idiot after him, right? And they see exactly what happened. They should have just stuck with Darnold because he would have figured it out, right? He went to San Francisco and said, oh, so that's how you do it. Oh, okay. Went to Minnesota and said, yeah, you see what I learned over there with Kyle Shanahan? Now I'm gonna put it on Front Street. So he got the advantage over here. They have a nice offense over there in Minnesota. They're at home. I like CJ Stroud. I like what the Texans are building, but the fact that Mixon is hurt, I don't know. It's going to be a tall task if you really can't run the football effectively. So give me the Vikings.
What's the line again?
It is -2. Texans.
Houston.
Okay, you got the Texans. Moving on, we have this is a very, very good matchup. Eagles and Saints. Saints are 2.5 at home. Saints are 2-0. Eagles are 1-1. You already know where I'm going. So this is not even going to be an unbiased take. I got the Saints. And I got the Saints by a large margin. They have scored the most offensive touchdowns in football in 2 weeks, right? You can't stop them. When they're on the field, they score points. That's what they beat the hell out of us last week. They're going to beat the hell out of y'all this week. Go ahead, pick the Eagles. Go ahead. We know what's going to happen.
I am picking the Eagles.
Right.
I am not suggesting to everybody else to pick the Eagles.
Oh, so you're actually using logic today.
I'm gonna be honest about how I feel like I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried about everything that's happening in my organization right now. I don't necessarily like the relationship Nick Sirianni has with the team, especially with the quarterback. Like if Jalen Hurts is a super nice guy, if you have problems with him and you can't work with him, there's something wrong with you,
right,
as a human being. I think we have great play. Like if it's talent wise, I think we got a shot big time. I just don't like how the plays have been called, and I don't like how the team has been looking on offense.
Before we go ahead and move on, because obviously we got other picks to pick, but who are you blaming for that week 2 debacle? Is it Nick Sirianni or is it Kellen Moore? Somebody, don't tell me that nobody got to blame. Somebody got to take it.
Somebody has
Who is it?
to blame. Ultimately, I'm gonna put it on Nick Sirianni. Kellen Moore's offense is what it is. I think.
Bland. Vanilla.
Vanilla tastes good sometimes.
It's bland.
Vanilla tastes good. And Kellen drops some
missionary. Bland.
I don't know about you. I fuck some shit up in missionary.
Yeah, well, whatever. Okay?
You could do a lot in missionary.
Don't change the subject.
But I mean, hey, but just letting people know, dig deep. But ultimately it falls on Nick Sirianni. It falls on Nick Sirianni. He's the leader of the organization. He's the leader of the team. and he's the one who has to take the blame in that one. I don't think if you brought it down to microcosms, it's going to be all on him, but it's his responsibility.
Jalen Hurts doesn't like him, and I can tell.
You have to do a lot to make Jalen Hurts not like you.
I think Nick Sirianni doesn't have to do much. He just has to breathe in Jalen Hurts' direction.
No. Jalen Hurts is an upstanding human being.
You know him personally?
Don't speak bad about Jalen.
He's bad.
Do not speak negatively about Jalen.
You know what Bryce Young has to look forward to? Being Jalen Hurts.
Are you enjoying yourself?
Get him out of here.
How you feel about that game check to Dak?
What?
Useless.
Listen,
you guys are gonna be in
we shit the bed against the Saints. You're going to follow suit. So don't worry about that.
We're not going to look as bad as you did.
We going to see.
We're not going to look as bad as you did.
We going to see.
Shout out to the Kubiaks.
Moving on. Yeah, shout out to the Kubiaks. Moving on. We have Broncos and Bucs. Yeah, Broncos 0-2. Bo Nix. Yeah,
Bucs. Next.
Bucs. Whatever. It's a -6, Tampa Bay. Packers and Titans. Titans are 0-2. They actually have Titans -3 at home. Green Bay without Jordan Love.
Still, Packers.
Yeah, I mean, Will Levis is pretty bad, too.
That run game for the Packers is good, though.
Yes, very effective. Very effective. You got Josh Jacobs over there doing his thing. Yeah. Just because you picked the Packers, I'm going Titans. Damn that.
Okay.
I think Will Levis is going to be able to get something going.
Really?
Get something going. I don't know.
You call me delusional.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. All right? I'm hopeful. Yeah. Oh, this is a gimme game here. This is what I call the shit bowl. We have Giants at Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns is -6.5 in a row at home.
Cleveland, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
easy.
Sorry.
Don't apologize.
No, I got.
There's nothing to apologize for.
No.
It's a dumpster fire organization.
She was born into this shit. It's not her fault.
Captain Small Hands is your quarterback. You got no shot.
Cleveland.
We got Bears and Colts. Now we have two young quarterbacks going at it, right? You got Richardson. You got Caleb Williams. You know.
Caleb hasn't looked as advertised these first 2 weeks.
It's early.
But welcome to the NFL.
Right.
It's a different game.
Right.
The talent level that you were facing when you were in college and in the preseason is not what you're facing right now. The level of preparation against you is not what you're facing right now. So it's going to be a little bit harder for him to adjust. The Colts, Anthony Richardson, year 2, even though year 1 was cut in half by the injury. I don't know what's going on with Taylor right now. He doesn't look how he's supposed to look. He's not that same dominant player, but I think early season woes. Give me Chicago, but I don't necessarily feel great about it.
Yeah, I like Richardson. I'm a Caleb Williams fan because obviously he's a USC kid. Yeah, give me the Bears. I'll side with you there.
The Bears.
We have the Panthers and Raiders. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Raiders.
Yeah. Next.
They're -6 at home. There's nothing more to say. Nothing would please me more than to get the shot of Bryce Young sitting on the bench. With the fact that he's not playing, they may win.
It changes it for me a little bit. It's not so easily Raiders. Still Raiders, but
Andy Dalton is the quarterback. So I mean,
I've always liked Andy Dalton. I mean, he's the line when it comes to whether or not you have a good quarterback or a bad quarterback.
It's very true.
But Andy Dalton has always been serviceable. But can he beat the Raiders? I mean,
I think the offense is going to be better because obviously Thielen and Dalton are going to have a better connection. So we're going to see where that goes. But I'm going.
And then now you have Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard was pretty good before Bryce Young got there.
Right.
And
with a better quarterback,
they have to respect the run a little bit more. Now that Carolina can open up their offense.
Their offense might look a little better come in this game. Obviously, and that's going to be a huge indictment on Bryce Young. So yeah, but I still got the Raiders. Yeah. Moving on, we have Dolphins and Seahawks. If Tua does not play, Seahawks are going to roll them. If Tua plays, Seahawks are going to roll them. Seahawks are -4.5 at home. So that defense is really good. Their running attack is, Kenneth Walker's a little banged up, but they're still pretty good.
Well, who's the guy behind him? He did really good last week.
Yeah. So, like I said, they have good depth at the running back position, so they'll be fine. The offense is good, but the defense is better. They can be able to get to poor, what's his name, Skylar Thompson. My condolences to you. It's going to be a rough game. This is my locker pick of the week right here. Lions, Cardinals. Cardinals are at home. Lions are -3 on the road. This is going to be a high-octane game. This is going to be a high-scoring game. Two good offensive teams. You have Marvin Harrison Jr. on one side. You have Amon-Ra St. Brown on the other side. You have an interesting dynamic in regards to these two teams. They have different types of offenses. Both teams have dynamic running backs that can be able to do a lot. I like this game. It's going to be a high-scoring game. You go to the Lock app, go ahead and go scroll for that game. You go ahead and put in your scenarios. And if you want to do first quarter, second quarter, just the first half, go ahead. I'm doing all 4 quarters. All right, I'm going to make sure I get some money because I'm trying to move up that leaderboard in the all-even league. I don't want Silent Assassin to be leading. She's killing the locker right now. She told me yesterday, I'm fucking rich. Like, that's a line, right? She's already won big money. I want to be like her. So I got to make sure I play every game. And I don't like to lose. I'm like Tom Brady. I don't like to lose. So, yeah, that is my locker pick of the week. Who do you got for that game?
Lions.
You got the Lions?
Yeah.
I didn't pick one. I've been a big fan of Jamie Lee Curtis for the last year and a half. I'm not going to lie to you. He has been very, very good. He's been very good. Dan Campbell, I have a huge respect for that guy.
I love Dan Campbell.
But I love Marvin Harrison Jr. I do. Don't like Kyler Murray, though. I think he's immature. I'm going Lions as well. I think Lions are a good team. This game was supposed to be better than what it is, but we're not going to get a good game, I don't think, because all the injuries that are on both sides. 49ers and Rams, you have too many injuries. Cooper Kupp is out. Puka Nacua is out. You have George Kittle that's out. You have, what's his name?
It might make it a little more interesting.
Yeah, but
don't
nobody care about all of these other parts. I want to see the stars.
I love when the 49ers play the Rams.
It's a divisional game, so it's tough.
And it really has less to do with the players, more to do with the coaches.
Yes. It's definitely a who has the upper hand in regards to scheming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sean McVay or Kyle Shanahan. So yeah, it may end up being a better game, as you said. I can't ever pick the 49ers. So I'm going Rams. They're going to get their first win at home.
I think not. Give me the 49ers.
Yeah, you just like to root for bad stuff. That's what it is. You're an Eagles fan and you root for the team that's been the best team in the league, and they can't punch the ticket and get a Super Bowl win. They can't do it.
I mean, they
can't do it.
What they can do is beat the shit out of the Rams.
It don't matter. but the Rams play them tough. All right, I got the Rams. I believe in Matt Stafford.
They play him tough, but they get the shit kicked out of them.
Yeah. We have Cowboys and Ravens. Ravens are on the road. Cowboys at home. They got Baltimore -1. Baltimore's looked like shit the first 2 weeks.
Ravens.
Of course you're going to pick the Ravens. But I'm going to put some objective analysis here. That the Cowboys looked very good in week 1. But why did they look good in week 1? Because the team that they played were a bad team. The Cowboys, naturally, with this particular regime, the Dak regime, the Micah regime, the Zeke regime, they are front runners by nature. Mm-hmm. They can beat up on bad teams, and then when it comes to playing good teams, they will roll over and die. So depending on what Baltimore team we get, is going to be what team we get for Dallas, right? If Baltimore doesn't show up to play, Dallas is going to look like front runners. If Baltimore comes to show that they're an elite team that's just 0-2, they're gonna beat the hell out of Dallas.
I got
right?
King Henry for 100.
I don't think that's a outlandish statement. I think he can be able to get. Listen, this Dallas defense has been gashed before. Micah Parsons, I don't even want to talk about him, but yeah, I'm rooting against the Cowboys. I have the Ravens winning this game.
Wow.
I got the Ravens winning this game 28-17.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? I got a lot more respect for you because I couldn't do that with my.
I'll be
Eagles.
honest. I'm not. You know me. I'm not a Dak fan. So yeah, I got the Ravens winning this game. Moving on. We have Chiefs at Falcons. This is not gonna be a bad game. I think I've been very disappointed in regards to the Falcons' offense the first 2 weeks. Everybody was like, oh, this is going to be a great... No, it's not the way it works. Just because you look good on paper doesn't mean it's going to actually translate and execute on the field. So they do have the pieces. I think Drake London... You know about Drake London. You saw what he did.
Yeah.
You know. So, but they're going against daddies now. They're going against the Chiefs.
I think it's
they're going against the best team in football.
I think it's going to be bad.
Yeah, you think the Chiefs are going to beat the hell out of them?
I think it's going to be bad.
Even without Pacheco?
Yes, even without Pacheco. This is the thing with the Chiefs that I really want to see because they haven't called up Hunt yet, right?
No, he's actually going to be inactive for this game. They're not calling him up this week.
They're not calling him up this week. Okay. Because I'm really interested because he really knows that offense.
He does.
So I'm interested in seeing how he looks removed from that core injury that slowed him down his last year in Cleveland because his first 2 years in Cleveland he was
the man. He was actually the engine in the backfield.
In the backfield, like Chubb is Chubb.
Yeah.
Chubb is Chubb.
Yeah.
But Kareem Hunt looked like Kareem Hunt for a long time.
Facts.
And so the backfield is the question. Samaje P. Ryan. Watch him this week. That's who I have picked for who's going to be the most effective running back for them.
Really?
But yes. I think Samaje P. Ryan is going to be the most effective running back that they have this week if Hunt doesn't play. But you said Hunt's inactive, right?
Correct.
So I think it's going to be disrespectful what the Chiefs do to Atlanta. I think the Chiefs, they're 1-1 or 2-0.
Chiefs are 2-0.
Chiefs are 2-0 right now.
Falcons are 1-1.
I think that they're going to remind people of who they are. Because I think with the past 2 weeks, while they've won these games, they haven't won them in, like, you haven't got that.
And Mahomes hasn't looked sharp.
Yeah, you haven't got that Mahomes game. I think you get that Mahomes game this week. I think after the highs that the Falcons had after that win.
What win?
The win with the team that they played last.
Who's that?
I don't remember. I haven't been following everything. But off the win that they have and the highs that they win off that they have from that lucky win, they're gonna get the doors blown off of them. Okay,
I don't disagree. We have 2 Monday night games. We have the Jaguars and Bills. Bills are 2-0. Jaguars are 0-2. The Peterson era starting off so nicely for me late in year 2. Buffalo is -5 at home. There's no way I'm picking BoJack Horseman to beat the Bills at home. There's no way. I am not a Trevor Lawrence fan. And look, 2 Clemson quarterbacks looking like they're 2 busts. That's what I'm saying. You got Watson, you got Lawrence, right? What did they say about Lawrence? Oh, he's the greatest.
Generational.
He's generational. He's the greatest college prospect we've seen since Peyton Manning. Oh, yeah? Yeah? Haven't seen anything. Haven't seen it. So, I got the Bills winning this game. Running game is going to be solid. They're going to be able to get exactly what they want in this game. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be able to get frustrated. He does it all the time. He will throw you a pass that you will literally grab your head and say, why would he actually make that decision? And he may do that a couple of times in this game because the pass rush is going to be on his ass. So I got the Bills winning big.
I got the Bills winning big too. They're my pick of the week.
Yeah.
But I think you might see a little bit more of the passing game from them this week.
I don't disagree.
Like I think it's gonna open up. I think
they can get whatever they want on Jacksonville.
Yeah, but I think Josh is gonna remind you of who he is this week.
What, a turnover machine?
Don't talk about my man like that. Don't talk about him. That's the only real New York team.
He's the Russell Westbrook of quarterbacks.
I could smack you right now.
I'm being honest.
No, you're not. You're being disrespectful.
I'm being objective.
You're being disrespectful.
I don't have a dog in a fight in this game. I don't care.
I mean, my team's not even playing at the game, but I can tell you that you're being disrespectful to Josh right now.
Oh, listen, I'm just being
Jesus
honest.
Christ,
yeah, I'm
man.
a truth teller. That's all it is.
Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, I'm a truth teller.
Like,
I'm a truth teller.
You're delusional.
That's all it is.
Next, carry on.
We got Commanders and Bengals. Bengals are 0-2. They're going against the Commanders. The Bengals will get off the schneid on Monday night. They are -7 at home. Yes, Joe Burrow lights it up, and Joe Burrow gets his first win this season. I say Bengals 35, Commanders 12.
No way. I think the Bengals win. I don't think they cover the spread.
T. Higgins is back.
Okay.
This is the first game of the season.
Okay.
They had nobody to be able to help Jamar Chase.
Look,
T. Higgins is back.
I don't know what it is that's telling me.
T. Higgins is back.
I'm being honest with you. I'm being very honest with you. This is all gut hunch. I think we're going to watch that game, and I think throughout that game we're going to see that the Commanders have a chance to win the game. Okay. I don't think they win the game, but I really don't think they get the doors blown off of them.
You're saying that they're going to be a series or two that's going to. Is it going to be a possession? Is it going to be a what are they?
No, I think though. I don't think it's just a series or possession. I think the game. I think we go to the end of that game, fourth quarter, and I think Joe has to go win that game for you.
Okay, I am curious to see if that actually comes to fruition. So I'm not gonna ask you.
Yeah, and like I said, no facts behind it. You know what I mean? It's just a feeling that I got.
Right.
But bet, man, they don't cover the spread.
Okay. I mean, listen, I will see exactly what happens in the game, and when it does go the other way, I will call you.
I mean, I'm always
and record the phone call and shame you.
You can shame. Play it on the show.
I will.
Play it on the show.
I will.
But when you call me to sit there and tell me, Al, you were right, play that shit on the show too.
I will not. I will trumpet. I'll make sure that I alter the conversation. But yeah, that is it for the picks for week 3. If you're on Locker, like I said, go to your app store, download Locker, put in the promo code, go for it. You will get the $100 deposit match. Look for the All Even League. Sign up to that. Play some games in there. Find some other games and play, and just give yourself a chance to win some money. Because as the Silent Assassin said, she's fucking rich. Moving on to my irrelevant news of the week.
You gotta be kidding me. I mean, how do you watch that? I mean, they stink.
Every week we go ahead and we find some interesting stories. I particularly didn't find that many. However, there's one I'd like to discuss. According to reports, hold on, go ahead and restart this. Family of Blackfeet Chief, face of NFL's Redskins for 48 years, wants his image back in the NFL. He said, according to reports, the family of the Blackfeet Chief, who represented the Washington Redskins for 48 years, wants his image restored to the NFL field as his life story shared with a new generation. They have support from a Montana senator, while the Washington Commanders are working to honor the team's heritage. Yeah. Listen, it hasn't worked. The Commanders, what is a commander? What is it? I would have rather them go with the Washington Generals, Washington Monuments, something fire like that, right?
They should have kept it.
Or the Washington football team. That was hard. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's better than Commanders.
Kind of whack.
It's better than Commanders.
They should have never got rid of the Redskins. And the reason that they should have never got rid of the Redskins was because the Chiefs and the Native Americans who were down there, never asked for that shit.
Right.
That was like that.
It was media. It was whatever public pressure, and somebody got sensitive about it, and then it spread like wildfire.
Somebody who has nothing to do with
Correct.
it got sensitive about it. Matter of fact, on a side note, give me back Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben. But
I mean, I don't disagree.
What's
it called now?
I have no clue. It's not Aunt Jemima and it's not Uncle Ben. They're gone.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They're gone. It's fucking crazy. I ain't asked for that shit.
And the family wants back. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have the Native Americans down there are sitting there saying, "Bring us back, honor us." All right. So is the term Redskins racist? Let a Native American tell me what you want to be called and how you feel about it. You know what I mean? But if they're saying keep it, keep it.
All I'm saying is that I think if it was this much of an outrage over the decades, I think they would have found a way to solve this decades ago. I just think that in the society that we live in now, everything is so hyper-focused and so hypersensitive that they reacted in such a profound way that, of course, they're like, okay, we got to change it because we don't want to lose sponsorship. But
wokeism got commercialized.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So it's just like, look, first off, the logo's fire, right? Let's just be honest. It's fire.
Bring back the Cleveland Indians, too.
Whatever, right? That doesn't matter. I mean, what the hell is a Guardian anyway? But yeah, I agree. I think that if they can find a way to get the Redskins back, I think for the NFL, for nostalgic purposes, just the way it looks, period. It's just the Redskins jerseys were always nice. You know what I'm saying? The helmet, the maroon helmet with the yellow face mask, like it was fire. So I if they can find a way to be able to merge that gap and making sure that, you know, the natives are happy with it, they're content with whatever decision is made, then cool. Let's go ahead and what they should do moving forward is incorporate them into the history of the team.
There you go.
Have a Native American night or whatever it is.
Put a statue out in front there.
Do something that be able to now honor them so they can be able to go and represent the team and go there and have a section that they can actually be there and support the team. Like they never actually did any of that.
But you know
that I know. You know what I'm saying?
Redskins is never coming back though, because at the end of the day, the whole making an issue about it was more about their beef with Dan Snyder than it was about the whole net. But it was more about starting the beef and putting another thing on him to get him out of there. Yeah. Than it was to do with
so if that's the case, then they should be able to get it right back then.
No, because then you got all of these people who stood 10 toes down and said Redskins is wrong, it's racist, it's this, it's that, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. They now have to go back on their word.
We live in a walk it back society.
They
would walk it back and nobody would have a problem with it. Trust me. No one would have a problem with it.
We won't have a problem with it. Back. They will.
Bring wrestling's back. What else do I got here? Let's see. I don't know if I have anything else. Yeah, what is this? Nobody cares about that. That is it for me. I don't think that there is any more big stories out there. But then it's the biggest one. That is my irrelevant news of the week.
You got to be kidding me. I mean, how do you watch the... I mean, yeah, they stink.
All right, let's move on to basketball real quick. Ben Simmons is cleared. Finally, of all the injuries, the back surgeries, him staying out 80 games, the videos, Ben watch, that he's out there on the court working out. They got some video out there of him making a layup, making a left-handed shot. They got pictures of him. All of a sudden, he's cleared now, and Brooklyn Nets fans are vomiting in their mouths because they have had it with Ben Simmons. They have seen this man steal more money than somebody trying to rob the Federal Reserve. This man has stole the most money I've ever seen in the NBA. He's the biggest criminal in North American history. I tell people all the time, there's been nobody that stole more money from any sport than Ben Simmons. No one.
They need to bring him up on RICO charges.
Facts. The man left Philadelphia and all of a sudden got a back problem. How long has it been? This is like his third season in Brooklyn. It's going to take you 3 years.
He hasn't played.
Dwight Howard had a back surgery in the offseason and played a whole season for the Lakers. Don't tell me nothing. I don't want to hear it.
I have a child who hasn't been living in the season that he's played.
Right. You don't even know who Ben Simmons is.
Yes.
Dad, who's that? He plays here in Brooklyn? I've never seen him. We don't know who he is.
Set your clock to the Ben Simmons talk every offseason.
Every year it's the same timeline. Picture, video, reports. He's coming back to play. So I'm waiting for that next report that when training camp starts and preseason begins.
Injury backup.
Ben Simmons sidelined for 3 weeks. They got to wait for evaluation. At some point as an organization, when are you going to say, you know what? We just going to pay you to just go away. You already took 3 years worth of money. Just take the last year and just go. Just go. He has no trade value. Nobody's going to give you anything for him.
Pay him to leave.
But you know what? Maybe that's just the case. They're just like, listen, we can't get anything for him. Might as well just keep him here.
Well, then it's not really the organization that's really sitting here and rerunning this story again. It's really Ben's people.
Yeah, but Clutch got to be ashamed of themselves if that's their representative.
I mean, Clutch should look at it like a win. Like, look what we were able to accomplish. We got Ben Simmons his money.
Facts. That might be a selling point if you're an agent. Like, yo, listen, I know you fresh out of college, right? But listen, I can be able to turn water into wine. All you have to do is trust me. And if you don't trust me, I can be able to show you the receipts. Jill, bring the case. Thank you. Listen, all you have to do is make sure you follow my lead, okay? Let me do all the talking. Don't even show them any emotions. Jill, thank you. And just look at this. I got Ben Simmons, $200+ million. And he's played more games than what? How many games he played? Fucking 30 games in the last 2 years? Man's getting paid. He's getting paid.
It's crazy.
So trust me and just say, if I can get Ben Simmons paid, I can get anybody paid. It's true.
I mean, at some point, if I was the Brooklyn Nets ownership, I'd just beat him up, man.
No, don't do that. He's
not going to play anyway.
We don't want to put violence on Ben Simmons. We just want him to play basketball. But maybe he can't do that anymore. Maybe he is washed.
I'd have beat him up, man.
Relax, okay? After the break, Joel Embiid gets his money. Is it a smart decision for the Philadelphia 76ers? I don't know. After the break. Welcome back, y'all. All right. I saw a story. I got to go back into the relevant news. I have to go ahead and just rewind it. The Republicans have an event on September 29th.
Word.
And there's a rollout here. They have a event called Red, White, and Rock. There's Kimberly Guilfoyle. There's Donald Trump Jr., Chris DiStefano, Jessica Sutter, Jimmy Levy, Craig Campbell, Charles Moran, Jesse Keith Whitley, Richard Grenell, and Morgan Ortagus, right? All of these people are on the actual event. But there's one person that I left out. And there's a reason why I left them out, because they are they're against DEI. They hate it, right? They always talk about, oh, there's a DEI hire. We don't like that, right? If this ain't a DEI hire, I don't know who is. CHINGY is announced as a headliner for this Republican event on September 29th. Al, when was the last Chingy song you've ever heard? Was it Right There?
Oh, the joint with Snoop Dogg. It was right after Right There. Holiday Inn.
Okay, Holiday. Silent Assassin, you are a young person, so this applies to you because I'm sure you listen to all the stuff that's out there. Is there any Chingy records that are out there?
I don't even know who the hell that was.
I was just
There you
about
go.
to say, do
She
you
has
know who
no
Chingy
idea
is?
who this person is. So when you look at this lineup of people here, and this man is claimed to be a headliner at the Red, White, and Rock. If this ain't DEI, I don't know what DEI is.
I mean, I kind of had some heat for Kamala for bringing Megan out, but I mean, if we're talking about people that you got out,
but listen,
it's Megan versus
that's
Chingy.
Megan.
Yeah, you're kind of losing Trump.
This is bad. Of all the blacks that you could have found, did you get Chingy?
Oh man, yo, real talk. If Trump was really smart, he'd have got what's my Haitian boy name? Love Trump.
There's mad young artists out there that love Trump.
Nah, you know my Haitian boy from Florida, man. Look, extra Florida.
Who?
Oh man, what's his name? I can't remember his name right
It would have been better than Chingy.
Yes.
This is crazy.
Find this guy's name. As soon as I say his name, you're gonna
Red, White, and Rock, and Chingy's Chingy's the headliner. What are we doing? Let me tell you something right now.
Kodak Black.
Kodak Black. I can guarantee you. I can guarantee you that 85 to 95% of the white people that's gonna be there have no idea who Chingy is. No idea.
I bet you they'll know who Chingy is before they know who Kodak Black is.
I don't think so. I don't think so. They probably seen this crazy Kodak Black on TV before. Chingy, whose TV has he been on? Whose?
He was on Vlad TV.
Right. Man. So we're gonna move on. If that's not DEI, I don't know what is. Moving on. Joel Embiid gets a massive extension from the Philadelphia 76ers. 3 years, $193 million. My God. What money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Philadelphia 76ers, the report has come out that they are staying in Philly. I don't know why that was even a thing that you would ever even consider moving to Jersey. Why? Why would anybody want to go there? But yeah, him signing this massive extension, I think he's now on the hook for 3 years. 5 years at $300 million. Now, is this the right move to make for Philadelphia, knowing that he has a career of injuries, breaking down, having to sit and have these what do you call it? Rest periods, minutes restrictions. Is it a smart investment for the next 5 years for the Philadelphia 76ers?
I think that Embiid is good enough to invest in him. I think that with the way these contracts come out now, each contract that comes out, we look at it as, oh my God, this is a massive contract. You're getting paid this, you're getting paid that. Every contract that comes out is going to be the next biggest contract. NBA, NFL, MLB, everything. That's just how it works. That's just how it's worked and it's going to work. You're not going to have somebody get paid after somebody less than somebody else was paid, period. And as far as Embiid and Philly, I'm a firm believer. Remember, New York Knicks fan. So I'm a firm believer in you have those players that you pay them for them to stay. It's the same way that LA paid Kobe when Kobe was hurt and Kobe was breaking down, and people looked at the Kobe contract and they said, you know what, you might not want to give him this. You might not want to give him this because he's not going to pan out for you. Can he sit there and do it for you? I think with your organization, every now and then you get a player who has been with you since the beginning who you just pay that player. Like, they've done enough, they've bled enough for that team. And no matter who you bring in, you're going to have to pay them that money. And the drop off from the player that you have right now isn't significant enough to get rid of somebody who's been loyal to your team their entire career.
Okay, I mean, that's fair if you want to say that. I will spin it the other way. I think that Philadelphia, obviously, I believe that they had no other option than to give him this extension. But giving him the extension to say that we're going to honor you and keep you here because of your years of service, I disagree. I think locking him in and making sure that he got his money now actually gives it a higher percentage of a chance that he does get traded. I think that Joel Embiid, if things don't work out in Philly the way he wants to, I honestly believe that the Knicks are a destination that he would decide to waive his no trade clause, or if he even has one, or decide that he would love to go to New York. I think it's a great fit. I think if you package off a Randall, whatever else they got over there, and go get yourself a Joel Embiid and have him with Brunson, and that combination, I think, can be able to be a formidable tandem in the East for the next 3 to 4 years, if you can be able to do that. So I don't think that this is a story that's going to end with Joel Embiid retiring in Philadelphia. I think this is just one of those things where, okay, you're eligible for extension, sign the extension. Now you're locked in. Now you can be able to figure out where you want to go for the next 2 years.
I see that. I mean, as far as New York, as a New York fan, Embiid, great player. Great player. No, thank you.
You have a center right now that can't, every time he sneezes, he's out 6 weeks. Yeah. So why wouldn't you go get an Embiid? You have a Julius Randle that you guys are paying, and he's one of the worst playoff performers in New York history. But you don't want a Joel Embiid?
I think Joel Embiid is a great player. I think Joel Embiid is a great player.
You need great.
But for what we're going to have to sacrifice.
You need great.
Look, listen. Great player. The injury history is worrisome. And I think what we have to sit there and sacrifice to get Joel Embiid here.
Let's ask the question.
Is the problem.
What are you sacrificing?
I'm not, whatever it is.
Mitchell Robinson. Julius Randle.
No, I'm not getting
What are
that.
you?
No.
You won't give up Julius Randle for Joel Embiid.
I won't give up Mitchell Robinson for Joel Embiid. Go ahead, press it again. I'll say what I said.
You know I'm going to clip this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know I'm going to clip this.
And a year from now, I'll be proven right.
From Mitchell Robinson?
Yes.
He hasn't been healthy his entire career. At least Joel Embiid will win an MVP when he's not healthy.
Yes, but how much time do you have left with Joel Embiid?
It don't matter how much time do you have with Brunson and the group that you have.
It does make sense.
You need to strike now.
How much more time do you think we got out of Brunson?
Who knows? He's breaking down already. Tom Thibodeau's your coach.
So that means they're playing forever and they're not coming off the court. So
no, which means that you don't have that much time. Because he wears his players out. You see the last 2 years what Brunson has done for New York? Do you honestly think that he can play at that clip for another 6?
No.
No.
I think we need more people.
Which means that you need to cash in the next 2 years. Joel Embiid fits that mark. Well, I'm not saying that Joel Embiid is going to be good for the next 5. You need him for the next 2 to be able to compete with Boston. You get Joel Embiid, you will be better than Boston. Mitchell Robinson doesn't get you over the hump.
As a Knicks fan,
Julius Randle doesn't get you over the hump. You need superstars.
As a Knicks fan, you have to understand my reluctance and my fear in selling to bring players in to get over the hump. Because over my lifetime, our history as Knicks, we have not been successful in selling our assets to be able to bring a player in.
Let me ask you a question. In the last playoff run that you had with all the injuries, you had OG Anunoby go down. You had Josh Hart go down. If you had a guy like Joel Embiid and he was even remotely healthy, you beat Indiana? Yes.
Yes, we do. But
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Where
That's
was
the
he
question.
in his playoff run?
He does not have what the Knicks have.
He was hurt.
What I'm saying is that look at the
you're talking about
76ers roster.
No,
We are comparing rosters.
We're comparing rosters.
Who has the better roster?
But you're talking about
Answer.
how I sat there and how we fared when these players went down with injury. If these players didn't go down with injury, I don't think we lose to Indiana. So
But
now you're talking about.
But do you beat Boston? No.
I don't know.
No, you don't.
Could we beat Boston? Yes.
Not without another guy that is in the middle that can be able to give you a relief from. Brunson needs relief.
Yes.
He needs somebody to help him. I don't give a damn how broken down Joel Embiid is. The man is a walking 35-13.
But if we bring him in, do we even have him for the playoffs?
So let me ask you a question. What has Mitchell Robinson given you the last 2 years in the playoffs?
Not enough.
No. Answer the question. What has he given you?
Not enough.
Nothing. Not enough. Nothing. What's Julius Randle giving you the last 2 years in playoffs?
Rubbish.
So at this stage, would you rather Mitchell Robinson that's giving you nothing or a former MVP that still has something left in the tank? That if you give him the load management that he needs throughout the season, because you really don't need Joel Embiid to be dominant. You just need him to be healthy because the Knicks are good enough to get to the playoffs, correct?
Yes.
What would you rather have? I'm going to ask you again before I hit that button.
Would I
Mitchell Robinson or Joel Embiid?
I'd rather have a healthy Joel Embiid.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying.
But will I have a Joel Embiid healthy?
Will you have a healthy Mitchell Robinson that you're paying almost $20 million a year, if not more?
But if I have Mitchell Robinson, there are other assets I have to sit there and sell along to be able to get Joel Embiid.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter because we don't have a positive history when it comes
to selling. What
to selling
else do you
our
have
assets.
on this team outside of OG Anunoby, Brunson,
and
Hart? Go ahead. I'll wait. No. You said assets. So please.
Those are the core of that's the core of our team.
No. You said assets. Please. Go ahead.
They're going to access for picks.
So what? You were willing to give up 7 picks for Mitchell for what's his name? Dude in Cleveland. Joel Embiid's an MVP. What has Donovan Mitchell done? I'll wait.
Donovan Mitchell's been
I will wait. What has he done outside of not performing?
I'm not willing to sell assets as a Knicks player. As
a
Knicks
fan, you will continue to lose.
No, I just want to build how we've been building.
There's nothing to build with Mitchell Robinson. At some point, you're going to have to get rid of him. Randle is who he is. At some point, those two players, you know what their contracts add up to? About $55 million a year. So you can be able to get somebody else, make up the money, and go get yourself a Joel Embiid because your core of your team is still there. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Dummy. Yeah.
We'll see.
Moving on. I'd like to wish Adrian Wojnarowski a farewell. What a tenure in the NBA. What a tenure. Miss the Woj bombs. People are going to miss those. And, the competition between him and Shams. So I want to wish him well on his new venture at St. Bonaventure as the GM, right? That's the nice part of me. The other side of me doesn't want to be so nice because I think that Adrian Wojnarowski was one of the biggest snakes what we have in reporting. I think he was one of the biggest manipulators when we have in regards to reporting. That entire Dan Hurley thing, that was Adrian Wojnarowski.
I was not expecting this.
The Clippers, all of the news that you hear when you hear reports about the Lakers, and then all of a sudden, a couple hours later, there's a report about the Clippers, and he tries to prop them up. You know why? Adrian Wojnarowski is friends with the thigh grabber. in Los Angeles. You know, when you hear certain reports coming out of Brooklyn, Sean Marks is friends with who? Adrian Wojnarowski. So it makes me kind of happy that we actually are going to have some unbiased reporting for some of these teams going forward. So shouts to him. Yeah, you're historic. You're a Hall of Famer. You're going to be in the echelons of basketball lore. But for me, I'm happy that he's turning a page and I don't have to worry about a Woj bomb anymore. It's not about me hating. I just see what I see. And the final straw for me as a person that's observing it was that whole Dan Hurley situation. It was nasty. It was really nasty. And Adrian Wojnarowski was the linchpin behind that. So, but going forward, let's talk about his actual new role at St. Bonaventure as a GM. It's amazing how now college sports has GMs now. This is going to be a position that kind of grows just because of the whole NIL situation.
Exactly.
You literally have, I think you're going to have a salary cap at some point where they're going to have to manipulate that. Are we going to end up seeing, I mean, the transfer portal is kind of like trading right now anyway, or free agency, right? Is there going to be a point where there's like trades in college?
No.
Since you have a GM, there's no trades, though.
No, I don't think you're gonna get to a point where there's trades in college. And if I'm mistaken, correct me. But the NILs aren't controlled by the teams either.
No, there's
So then you're not gonna have like all of that stuff is gonna be inconsequential and tied directly to the players. But the GMs with now the talent that you have coming in is different, and how they approach their role as college players are different.
Yeah.
Before you had the NIL deals, it was, I'm a player for X team. Now it's, I'm X player on this team. And I think that flip, since the NIL deals and the amount of money that they are now getting as individuals and they can earn as individuals, is what calls for this new role in college.
And I also think that the fact that he's bringing a name recognition to St. Bonaventure, I think this is a way for them to be able to probably snipe some of those high-profile athletes from different programs, maybe some high D1 schools or some mid-major programs that they can be able to get to compete. So I'm curious to see where St. Bonaventure goes in the future, to see if his actual influence on the program matters, right? I'm sure it will, but I want to see if it kind of translates on the court. So shouts to Adrian Wojnarowski. Shams is better.
You fucked that up.
I did, but it's fine. Now it's time. Oh, you know what? No, it's not. It's not time for Dummy of the Week yet. I have one more segment. This is a good one because everybody's been talking about it. And I kind of held this topic towards the end just because I wanted to make sure that I'm telling people how I truly feel about this achievement. Shohei Ohtani joins the 50-50 club. He's the only player in Major League history to hit 50-plus home runs and steal 50-plus bases.
Mm-hmm.
Shouts to him. It's a great achievement.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of people telling me that he's the MVP. Okay, we can make an argument about that. Played DH, didn't play the field. That matters. Guys like Lindor carried his team, and this is why the Mets are literally on the cusp of making the playoffs, because of stellar plays from Lindor. Ohtani is with this big, dominant machine that is the LA Dodgers. So can you say that he's the MVP? It's debatable. I don't have no problem with that. What I have a problem with is people that said that Shohei Ohtani is the greatest baseball player that's ever lived.
Who said that?
There's been plenty of people that have said that. The fact that we live in this recency bias world,
mm-hmm.
where we can see the Chiefs and people say, "Oh, it's the greatest team we've ever seen." They say, oh, Patrick Mahomes, greatest quarterback ever. No, he's great. Greatest ever? No. It's debatable.
Yeah,
But
it's
to make
debatable.
a blanket statement, baseball is a sport of numbers. Baseball is also a sport of errors.
Mhm.
You had the dead ball era, right? Babe Ruth dominated the dead ball era. You had the era of the home run.
Steroid era.
You had the steroid era. You had all of these different phases in baseball. And to say that Shohei Ohtani is the greatest player to ever don cleats is obnoxious. Is he one of the most talented players you've ever seen? Absolutely. But so was Ricky Henderson. So was Ken Griffey Jr.
There you go. That's mine.
So was Barry Bonds. So was Alex Rodriguez. So was Miguel Cabrera. There's so many great players that I've seen in my lifetime. For you to tell me that Shohei's the greatest? And here's the problem that I have with this whole 50-50 stolen season or 50-50 season. Silent Assassin, you're a baseball fan. Can you tell me what was implemented in the offseason before this season started, please?
It made the bases bigger.
Oh, you don't say. So this season, the most improbable season in the history of baseball, that's never happened before. It happens in the inaugural year when they increased the size of the bases. What did they also do, Silent Assassin?
Yeah, universal DH.
That, and what did they do with the tagging at second base? So you can't come off the bag anymore to make the tag. You have to do the swiping type of motion that allows base runners to have more access to the base because they were trying to implement more stolen bases into the game. So when you tell me that this 50-50 season is the most impressive thing you've ever seen, why didn't it happen before?
Yeah.
Because it was actually something that was a skill. 30-30 was a super impressive achievement because it's hard to hit 30 home runs. It's even harder to get 30 stolen bases because every second baseman has a different skill, a different swipe, a different strategy, a different motion. So you have to understand who you're running against, what catcher you're going against, all of these particular things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they make the bases bigger and they make the rules of how you swipe on the bases different, you don't say he scored 50 bases. So for me, as a baseball savant and a lifer, I cry bullshit. I cry bullshit.
You make a good point.
You make it seem like this dude is the greatest thing since sliced bread when the game is literally being
catered to him.
Kind of catered to his skill set. I'm sorry. I didn't watch baseball for the last 30 years. I've seen great guys steal bases. Ricky Henderson was a great base stealer. Lou Brock. This guy is none of those. But because you watered the game down, now you want to put him in those particular guys' light.
It's not
bullshit.
Even just watering down the game. It's what these leagues are doing is they're catering to their stars and they're catering to their stars' legacies. So they're changing the game to be able to fit.
They're changing history.
Yeah.
They're changing history. On top of that, and the last point before we go to break, here's the other thing. They pitched to him. Why is that? Oh, because they like him. Oh, Shohei's such a nice person, so we're gonna pitch to him. We don't want to cheat the game. You know how many intentional walks Barry Bonds had in his career? More than some baseball teams have thrown. So this is a guy that was stealing bases for years. Had they pitched to him, maybe Barry Bonds would have been the first 50-50 guy way back when.
Yeah.
But now they're pitching to guys now. You're rewriting history and you're trying to tell me a different tune. Bullshit. After the break, the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week. I should have baseball in there, but I'm not going to do it after the break. Welcome back, y'all. I'm still hot about Shohei Ohtani. That was bullshit. Now it's time for my favorite segment. The greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
Every week I go around the room and I ask, who is the Dummy of the Week? There is no Claude, there is no Jimmy, the super intern, but there is a silent assassin. What do you got?
I'm going with Twins minor leaguer, Derek Bender, who eliminated his team.
That's a wild name, I'm sorry. Pause.
He eliminated the team from playoff contention after he was tipping pitches to hitters. He's a catcher because he just wanted the season to be done with.
So does he want to play baseball anymore?
I don't even know. He was just done with it, and then obviously the Twins cut him. But it's like, why are you
he's
playing
done.
baseball if you're just want the season to be over? So
here's my thing. First of all, let me just hit the dummy for you because
Dummy, yeah.
he has to get that. But my question is this. Did he not think that somebody was going to find out?
Even like, I think it said like vocally. So it'd be like, hey, fastball. Hey, like, no.
And the ump is probably behind him like, I can hear you, right? Like, I can hear this. You know I'm going to tell your manager and your team. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? Mm-hmm. You don't want to play baseball that bad? Burger King's right there. They always got applications.
UPS too.
The facts. Like, no matter where you go, this is the one thing. No matter where you go, no matter what town you go in, Burger King's always hiring. Always. So why would you waste the team's time that you want the season to be over? Okay, it's really over now. You ain't never going to play again. Never.
Dummy, yeah.
What's his name? I'm a Bender? What?
Derek Bender.
Derek Bender.
Hell of a name.
Derek Bender, you get the
Dummy, yeah.
Who you got, Al?
Amber Rose.
Yes. Yes, Amber Rose gets the
Dummy, yeah.
Please explain.
So Amber Rose has come out and doubled down on the entire. For those who don't know, I'm a proud Haitian. Amber Rose has doubled down on the entire Haitians are eating people's cats and dogs.
Correct.
She's mind you, the person who created the original post,
right,
came out and said that I made a mistake. This XXX, I'm not even gonna.
The black dude that went to the town hall, he said that it was bullshit.
He said it was bullshit.
The
person who said that my cat was missing found their cat.
Right.
You know what I mean? So all of these things.
The city has come out and said it was all bullshit.
And then the video that was viral online
wasn't even Springfield.
Wasn't even in Springfield. So all of these things have come out to sit there and say that I'm saying the Haitians are not eating people's pets.
Right.
She came out and said, no,
the dogs.
That's part of their culture. They're in their culture in Haiti, they eat people's they eat cats, they eat dogs, so forth and so forth. I'm here to let Miss Rose know that we do not eat dogs, we do not eat cats, we do not think that eating dogs and cats is something that is to do. Most Haitians don't even necessarily like dogs like that and want them anywhere near them. But yeah, Dummy of the Week. And even when presented with all of the information, she doubled and tripled down. I don't know if she's during her slut march across America has had the opportunity to engage with Haitian people, but she's incorrect. And Amber Rose has put her mouth and opinion into things that she does not know anything about, and she should probably step out of the whole political field.
I don't think that's the first time that she put her mouth into situations that she doesn't know anything about.
No, I think certain things that she's put her mouth
that's
on,
what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. Listen, well said. I think that slut Charles Manson is what I call her, because I don't know why she got that tattoo on her head.
She fucked that face.
She looks wild crazy. And she's starting to look washed anyway, too. So, yeah. I mean, listen, you got to understand, right? And this is where I tell people, that you need to start paying attention to who's delivering messages to you, right? I'm not saying that there's one side that doesn't have bullshit, and I'm not going to tell you that another side doesn't have bullshit, but look at the rhetoric that's on both sides. You have one side that's telling you, yeah, we need to kind of figure out a way to get together, be together, kind of grow this thing, and
Kumbaya.
build a unified country. And then you got other people who have culture vultures that represent them spreading this lie. You have senators that are literally telling you that they've made up a story just to bring attention to a state of Ohio that there's issues going on, and you're the senator of that state, and you're still blaming the person that's running for president as to why your state looks like shit, but yet you're the senator of that state. This is what I'm trying to tell you, is that there is rhetoric on one side that if you have a brain in your head,
you'll be able to
common sense will really kick in and say, wait a second. A doesn't equal to B, or 1 + 1 is not it. The math ain't mathing. That's what they would literally say. But we know the type of people that they appeal to. And as I said before, Trump does not want to expand his base. I don't think that the minions that they're paying, because they are paying this person, care about expanding their reach either. They're just appealing to the people that go to their phones. Oh, Amber Rose said this. Yeah, so I'll believe her. I've seen her on my TV for years. She has to be telling the truth.
I want to take a second to give a big shout out to Jocelyn Hernandez, because she told us a while ago when she whooped Amber Rose's ass.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Of who she was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Slut Manson, you get the
Dummy, yeah.
Now, mine is not as sexy and attractive as yours. That was a great dummy, and I appreciate you for, representing the Haitian culture and standing up for you guys, because what's going on in Springfield, Ohio is the worst. Like, people can't go to school, they can't go to work. They've built up that town when that town was a ghost town, and they actually made that town profitable because there was opportunity, there was jobs that those people in Ohio didn't want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a lot deeper than that, and I do if anybody has the chance to look it up and read it.
Yeah.
There was a New York Times article that took a really deep dive into what eventually brought the Haitians.
No, I know.
to
Yeah.
Springfield. Like I really recommend you taking a moment out to Google it and read it.
Absolutely.
But like you said, they're fair is fair, and what I will say is this: when you have an influx of 15,000 people into a town that might not necessarily have the infrastructure for it, it's hard. School systems, you don't have enough. Your teachers are used to 30,000 people being there. You now have 50, 60,000 people there. You know what I mean? So there are different things that might be a little bit more difficult, but there is commerce that's being brought into Springfield, Ohio.
And their economy is growing.
The economy is growing.
And that's what you want.
And then all the reports from the people in Springfield are that the Haitians in there are hardworking individuals. They don't sit there and cause issues. They're not bringing crime to the area. Correct. They're enriching your area.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think, like I said, the most difficult thing that's coming with having the amount of Haitians that have come into the area is we now need more teachers, which we probably need across everywhere, across the entire country. We need more teachers, and we need more translators.
Yeah,
it's those things are hard, and those things can be worked around. But now what you have are people who, like you said, didn't want to take the jobs that they're taking right now in the factories that they're taking them, and saying, hold on, why don't we have these jobs?
Well said. Well said. I don't have the nice dummy that you had. I have something a little bit more funny. May I have a drum roll, please? And the winner for Dummy of the Week, the NFL The NFL gets my...
Dummy. Yeah.
Now, here's the thing, right? When I went ahead and watched my Cowboys get destroyed by the New Orleans Saints last week, I was mad. I was upset. I was furious, right? I didn't like it. I blamed a lot of people. I blamed Dak Prescott for throwing stupid passes. I blamed Micah for being non-existent. I blamed a lot of people. Defense couldn't stop a nosebleed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I was a little satisfied. Why? Because I like Derek Carr. I'm a big fan of his. I always said that I would take Derek Carr over Dak Prescott any day. That's just me. A lot of people wouldn't say that, but I do. I like Derek Carr. I like his moxie. I like his fight. I like his energy, right? Well, there was a time where he got a touchdown in that game. And what did he do? He paid homage to the great Michael Jackson, right? Did the MJ dance. Would you believe that the NFL fined the man for that?
What was it, 15 or 15?
What are we doing? I don't care how much it is. It's a
absurd.
dance. This is the NFL. This is a grown-ass man. Why would you fine him for that?
And it was a clear homage to
Yeah. Oh, well, he made obscene gestures. Did you never watch Michael Jackson dance? That's Michael Jackson dance. Go look at video. This is what I'm trying to tell you. When you have white people that are in these certain areas and they've never watched some things, who's that? What did he do? Did he grab his crotch? Bro, you never seen MJ perform in your life. It's a problem. Don't step on my dummy. I ain't done. The no fun league. You get whatever celebrations that these players come up with. Just let them do it. I miss the days where T.O. used to have the popcorn. Did that where Chad Ochocinco had the cell phone. All of these things are fun. Touchdowns are the biggest thing in the game, right? It should be big. There should be explosions going off. There should be a whole bunch of nonsense that happens. You see how soccer does it? They do wild celebrations. Why can't we have that in the NFL? I don't understand.
No fun league.
Just stop. It's the Michael Jackson dance. And for them to even say it was some obscene gesture makes me know that you're not cultured. Makes me know that there's a whole bunch of old white men up there that don't know what the fuck they looking at.
Don't nobody not know Michael.
You would be shocked. You would be shocked.
Give people too much credit?
Yes. As you always do. Well, I don't like what the hell he just did there. He just grabbed his crotch in front of... It's Michael Jackson dance. Who's Michael Jackson? Who's that? I'm sure, yeah.
Don't believe it.
I'm sure. Don't put it past these old rich whiteys. I'm just saying. No offense to Silent Assassin, but she's cool. She's one of us. But I'm just saying, it just don't make sense, man. Leave Derek Carr alone and leave these players alone. If they want to celebrate, you pay them all of this money, let them celebrate. They're not going to go over the top and do anything like pull their drawers down and show they nuts to the crowd. They're not going to do that. But just let them have fun. It's a touchdown. This is a celebration. It's literally 10 seconds of TV time. It doesn't even take that long sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, give me a break. 10 seconds for what? 15 yards, 20 yards, 15 seconds, 10 seconds? What are we doing? Let them do whatever the hell they want. I'm tired of having this conversation every year that they do this shit. Just dumb. It's just dumb. So the NFL, you get the
dummy
for not knowing what the hell the MJ dance looks like. And I can already know who the hell is in that fine room. Gotta be some white guy. That's all for this show. Silent Assassin, you are the MVP, of course, as always. Al, the Crazy Eagles fan.
My man.
You brought a lot of good topics and conversation today. I have a PSA, as always. It's election time. There's time for Civics 101. I gave a civics lesson last week. I told people, if you don't like it, then don't listen to it. But if you don't like it, there's a reason why your brain is shutting it off, because you refuse to actually understand how real things work. Some people don't want to know how important shit operates. They just want to live their oblivious lives and go about their business and make their TikTok videos. Here's my problem, right? You had said something very, very profound to me and sparked my PSA. Where you said that, you know, these legal immigrants that came to Springfield, Ohio to explore opportunities for them and their families to be able to work, get a job, have a home to live in, build up those homes, right? Those broken down homes that they can be able to now revitalize and resell and make Springfield a town that people would actually want to go and live in, right? It made me realize that all of the rhetoric that you hear from one side tells you that these migrants and these immigrants are so dangerous and they're going to come and take your jobs and this and that. Here's my problem with that. If you're worried about somebody who can't speak your language taking your job, you have a lot more concerns than just them coming into your town or your country. There's something wrong with you. If you don't have the education and you're not hardworking enough, then yeah, somebody who has the same level as you in regards to education or more hard work, they're gonna come in and take whatever low-level job that is. You're born here, which means that you have more opportunity than the people that are seeking refuge here, right? So you should take advantage of the opportunities that are here. Not live off government assistance for generations and believe that that's the easy way out or that's your American way. More immigrants come into this country year after year and build their lives, work hard, build a life for themselves, have children that are Americans, send those kids to school, watch their grandkids grow up in the home that they bought with their sweat and tears and blood. They live the American dream more than people that fucking live here and were born here. So if you have problems with those people living the dreams that you should be living, you need to go ahead and look inward at yourself as to why you don't succeed. Don't blame your government. Don't blame your state officials. Don't blame your local councilman. Blame yourself. Because generational, norms in your family can be broken by anybody. You don't have to be on government assistance. You choose to be. You can be out there and go ahead and make a life for yourself. If there's nothing in your town, go to another town. Move. Go try to make life somewhere else. Because you know who does do that? Immigrants that come into this country. They go, they seek opportunity wherever the opportunity is. And people who are born here don't. So don't get mad at them coming in here. What you should be mad at is how can they possibly come in here and live the dream that I never got to live? You should be ashamed of yourself. You should actually ask one of those immigrants, how can I have the hard work that you have to get exactly where you got? Rather than looking at them as the enemy. Because if I had a choice, I would move all of you fucks out of the country and move them in because it would make the country better. That's my lesson and that's my PSA. So if you want to go ahead and get mad at people that work hard, that really reflects poorly on you as a person. That's our country though, right? Is that we want to go ahead and point the blame at people when it's literally us that's the problem. We are the dumbest country. We are the dumbest nation in the world. We have the dumbest people here. And we have people that think that they're owed something rather than seizing the opportunity. This is why most of the world laughs at us in certain situations. Because we have people that are in the middle of this country where the most poverty is in the middle of this country. And get this, This is the funniest thing that I will ever say on this show because it makes me laugh all the time. Just think about how this country is divided in regards to the Electoral College, right? If you look on the coast, that's where it's all blue, right? But if you look into the middle of the country, if you look at that electoral map, it's all red. So let's think about this, right? For the majority of the time that the Electoral College exists, that middle of the country has been red. What is the poorest part of our nation? It's red. It's in the middle of the country. All of those red states, all of those poor places are red states. But yet the people that live there continue to vote the same way. Why is that? Because they're happy with whatever their life is and they don't want better for themselves. The people that do want better seek better and they leave. While the people who are just fine with sitting on their couch complaining stay in those red states. And the states become more run down, more impoverished, and you have more towns like Springfield, Ohio that have nobody in it that they have to beg to come build it back up. So instead of blaming the migrants that are coming to save your town once again, just like how they've saved so many other towns across this great United States, because newsflash, migrants and immigrants built this country. Whether you want to admit it or not, that's the facts. Whether whatever constituents want to lie to you, or whatever orange man from outer space wants to lie to you, immigrants have built this country, not the people that feel entitled about it. So at some point, you need to start using your common sense and say, maybe those people that are coming in, maybe they got it right. Maybe we just need to work a little harder and make sure that we show up for our families and be responsible and not wait for some government check to come in. Maybe you need to work for what you want. And maybe you'll live better lives. And maybe you'll actually live the American dream. That's all for this show.
Church.
Al, it's a pleasure seeing you. Silent Assassin, we have 40 plus days to the election. I can't wait until it's over. That doesn't mean that the struggle is over, that the fight is over. No, it's just a little piece. But we will see exactly where we are as a country and where we are going for the next 4 years. Next week is going to be an interesting show. I don't know what's going to come of it, but if the Cowboys end up being 1-2, I'm coming in here hot. I am.
You should.
I might just cancel the show after 5 minutes. I don't
do that.
I don't know.
Don't do that.
Depends.
Get the little beat ready. Don't be a pussy.
Yeah. Stay safe. Stay cool.
Shout out to AJ and Gina. I love you.
Peace.
My son is the champ. So get over it.